All right, welcome, my wonderful friend. Welcome home to InsidePool.tv, and we want to welcome you to Steinway Billiards in New York City, where the beginning is the end here on the island city of dreams, where this moment was defined and is designed, where man reaches for his potential and the towers race to the stars. The electric fire dances across the outline of the city that seems truly alive, and we, my friends, are triple live here at the finals of this wonderful event. The course says you cannot make nothing live, but this is not nothing, my friend. This is the finals of the 2013 George Sanssouci Memorial. And we are sending lightning bolts into your mind, so get ready for the greatest pool match this world has ever seen, a true clash of the titans on an epic scale. The pool gods sit upon Mount Olympus, and Ginky sits with them looking down, and all of our other fallen heroes as we get started on this wonderful event. NYC Grind and Inside Pool teaming up here to watch Mike Davis and Dennis Hatch blast out across the galaxy, InsidePool.tv. And we are brought to you by a host of wonderful folks. And we're going to let Gail and great assistant she is. This is the Predator Pro-Am Tour, my friend, along with the Tri-State Tour and the Mez Tour. And we are Inside Pool Magazine, along with NYCGrind.com, Steinway Billiards, CNG Gas, North County Restoration, and Focused Apparel. Predator Q's, Play NAPL, Poison Billiards, Pool on the Net, Delta 13, Pocket Coach, Billiard Press, Pool.bz, QTable.com, and Master Chalk. Make sure you check out Inside Pool, NYC Grind, Pool Mag, Billiards Digest, azbilliards.com, and, of course, my favorite site, live-stream-news.com. Super special shout out here in the finals. Kamui, Bank Shot Calculator, J.R. Calvert of Inside Pool, the Mastermind, Sally Timko, Manny and Anna Stamaxis, Larry Ross, and George and Maria, the owners of this fine establishment, Steinway Billiards, where we have been kicking it live for 3 weeks straight. Don't forget Radaburger Beer, another sponsor of this event. I think I got to everything. And I want to welcome you all, and thank you so much out there, Ustream.tv. I hope you've been having fun. I know I've been having fun. And let's get this party started, shall we? Let's. Tony's on his way. That's fine. I can hang out here. It's good after all that. All right, welcome, everybody. Let's see, we have how much of our pool family online here. Nice little number, 700. Yes, now this is a race to 15. One race to 15. And we are just having so much fun here. It's unbelievable. There's the lag. Dennis has been having fun, I'll tell you. And the lovely and talented Gail is joining me for now until Tony shows up. Gail, tell me about how this event has gone for you, Tony. What are your feelings? What's the energy like in the room? And how are you in general right now?
Well, I'm a little bit of a mess after watching that video, but we're really happy with the event. It was our biggest entry event so far, the third annual George Sanssouci Memorial Tournament. We had over 190 players for both events. The room was so inviting and comfortable. Steinway was amazing. You guys were amazing. I just think everything was
Absolutely
spot on, and we were really happy with the turnout. But at this point, right now, I'm on a countdown to when Tony and I are going to get a massage tomorrow because I'm exhausted.
Nice. So here we have the opening break, the opening serve from Mike Davis. Once again, we see Mike Davis in a final. He creeps up and just swats them like flies. Boom, 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 all the way to the finals. Here he is.
He does, and he made a ball on that break. And I know he played Tony earlier in the tournament, and he was very, very successful with his break during that match, and I think he has been the majority of the tournament. He's been able to pot a ball on the break nearly every time I watched him play Tony. So he's doing really well, and the balls are spreading nicely. They didn't spread too great on this break, so he definitely has got some work to negotiate that 4, 5, 8 situation over there.
Nice. Spiked it like the champ he is.
With
My
this being
friend.
with this being the Ginky Memorial Tournament, we do have some of Ginky's family in the chat room.
Wonderful.
They were here yesterday, and they were here the entire day sweating the TV action
Yes, yes.
in person.
Absolutely. We enjoyed having them here.
So, hello to them.
Then we will be playing that video Jerry made here after the tournament's over. So sit back, relax, and get ready for 15, race to 15 here. Wow, that's error was caused by rolling the cue ball so fast it caromed right off into the pocket. Excited. Usually the players are very nervous or excited during the beginning of the matches. You notice that too, Gail?
Oh, yeah. Got a lot of adrenaline going that first rack.
Absolutely. Plus the TV, they know everybody's watching. Hatchet Man's been playing Jam Up, and he's been playing and playing and playing and playing and playing nonstop. So, and he's been on the TV table 5 or 6, 7, 8 times since we first came in with the straight pool. So he went from top world straight pool to the Steinway Classic. Now we're at the Ginky Memorial, whereas Mike kind of, I'm not sure. See, he's so undercover, you never know when Mike's there or not. He kind of just blends in with everybody unless he lets himself be known. But I think Dennis has a slight advantage just because he's had the experience on this table particularly so much.
I agree with you. Dennis has been on this featured table a lot during this particular tournament, and Mike was creeping up on the one-loss side and playing on the neighboring table, table 13 in the room. This table is different, though, from the World Straight Pool. The Straight Pool, they had the Olhausen table.
Oh, that's right. They had that other table there.
So, but just the whole feature of playing in front of the television or live stream with a lot of spectators, I think Dennis thrives on that. He loves that. Every time he makes a ball, he tends to look around the crowd and make sure everybody saw it.
Yeah, he's definitely very youthful and quite a fun person. He loves the energy of the crowd.
He's not shy.
No.
Dennis is not shy at all. And he's playing so consistently these days.
He's playing great.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how well he's hitting them. It's all about the break with 10 ball, of course. Well, quite a bit about the break anyway, so we'll see what kind of offering he has here.
Dennis was one of the favorites to come into the finals of all the players. There were 61 players in the tournament. I would say if they were going to guess 4 different players that may enter into the finals, Dennis was one of the 4 people we're talking about. I think that Shane nor Earl being in this final is kind of surprising to a lot of people in the room. They were expecting one of those 2 players to play.
I'll turn you down.
Okay.
We're going to let the mastermind of this event, Tony Robles, step in here, your assistant and companion. And I want to thank everybody very much for having me here. It's an honor to be with you, Pool World, and Master Brain Chat, Ustream.tv. Thank you for all you do. And I'm going to leave it to the promoters and the people running the show here. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Alvin.
Thank you, Alvin. You've done an amazing job the last 3 weeks. Between the World Straight Pool and the Steinway Classic and the Ginky Memorial. Wow. Is this the first rack?
This is the second one.
The second one. So who won the first rack?
Dennis.
Dennis. So Dennis is up 1-0, and this is a race to 15.
Mike did make a ball in the break and then had an unusual scratch in that first rack, and he allowed Dennis to capture the first rack and get on the board.
Well, I don't think he's going to go for the combo. I think he's going to play the 4, and he can play in 2 corner pockets, maybe even the side pocket. It's the 5 is just going to be tricky. He might even have to play safe, leave the cue behind the 7, depending how he gets on the 4, or depending on what he decides to do. We definitely need to make up your mind for this shot. That way you figure out where to leave the cue ball. And we have Ginky's family on the chat here. Love the Ginkster. Hey, Erin, how are you, sweetheart? Thank you again for stopping by with your mom, with Irene Sansusi McDonough, who's Ginky's sister. We appreciate having you here every year, and thank you for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed your time here. I'm pretty sure you did, but it's always a pleasure and an honor to have all of you here every year.
Oh, he elected to play safe.
That's what I said. He wanted to play safe, but he would have been better. He would have been better off, obviously, if he would have frozen parallel to the 7, so that way
Right.
Dennis doesn't have that
One
rail
rail
available.
kick.
I'm pretty sure that was probably his intention. And a big hi to New York City Railbird and to everyone else in the chat room. And Omar Coffee is in the house again, huh?
I just saw him at Society.
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you here as well.
And how about Tom De Alfonso? 3rd place in this tournament. I mean, he played lights out and only lost to Mike Davis on the hill.
I mean, to be honest with you, as soon as I saw that he came to the tournament, signed up for the tournament, I knew he was going to do well. Because there are a lot of people out there that, never even heard of Tom.
Right.
That's because he's been a role player for so many years, but I think he's one of the best players in the country.
Mm-hmm. This is my first time seeing him play, and I was quite impressed.
Tasmanian, how you doing, buddy? And our Hustler and Heather Kurtz.
Got a little grudge match going on right now. Race to the 4. Who can get a better shot on the 4 ball first? Because once the 4 goes in, I mean, the 5's now. I think it really had the side pocket before, but it just seems like it's more open with the 4 not being down in that area any longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he can hit the 4 thin here and try to put the cue behind the 7, the 5, or the 8. Obviously, he has a big gap there, though, in between the balls if he doesn't hit it right.
Right.
And he has to be careful not to run into the 9 dead on and have the 9 come out and have the 4 stop in front of the pocket. So this is a tricky shot. He might be better off just backing the 4 towards the 5, 8, and 7 because it's a higher percentage shot right there. It increases the chance of being behind the 10, the 6, the 7.
I see.
So that's probably the shot that I would take.
A lot of traffic on in his way.
And that's exactly what he did. But look at this. Ooh. Well, I thought that ball was going to stop in front of the
I think he's got an easy enough kick, though. Can he kick by that 6-7? I don't know. It's tricky. It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
And as Mr. William Finnegan walks by, maybe you and I can give a thank you to Finnegan, Todd Liepman, and John Lehman and Jose Burgos for all their help this weekend, making this event so smooth and steady. Long tournament, a lot of hours put in, and Tony and I would just like to thank all of them for all their help in making such a successful event for us this weekend.
It's a full team effort, and
Yes.
everyone plays an important role, and we can't thank him enough.
Grudge match to the 4. And he did pocket a ball on that. I'm assuming Mike Davis called safety. So Dennis would have the option to take the rack as it is or to give it back to Mike Davis. Now, I think this is kind of interesting. Neither of these guys are small. These are pretty big guys, and they can really jump from anywhere on the table because they can reach it. So I'm curious to see if Dennis will elect to jump this 5 ball. You would only have to jump half the 5 ball anyway.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if he can hit the ball low, too, he can go 2 rails and play the 5 in the side pocket. but he needs to end up on closer to the 8 in order to gain an angle to come down for the 6 in the lower left-hand pocket.
Mm-hmm. And he is successful and with
Yeah.
control.
Yep.
He made that look like he shot with
You
a
know,
regular
Dennis
cue.
jumps so well. He banks well. He kicks well. He plays safety well. He's very consistent.
Here, we'll switch.
Just do the sponsors during the breaks on the rackets.
Here, stand up.
Right. That'll start.
Sorry about that. There was a little delay there. I had to switch seats with the boss so she can run things here. Camera angles. That way, if you end up with a bad camera angle, I won't take the blame for it.
I'll still blame you somehow.
Yeah, I bet you will. But anyway, thank you, Erin, again for coming. It's always a pleasure having you here, and I'm excited that next year you intend on coming to watch the entire event. So we're looking forward to having you again, as well as everyone else. Wall Eye, who saw me play in the IPT. Hi to you and everyone else. And all right, well, Dennis wins rack number 2.
Rack 2. He's up 2-0. While I have this moment, I'd like to thank some of our sponsors. First and foremost, Predator Cues, title sponsor to the Predator Pro-Am Tour. The National Amateur Pool League, Tony Robles' Amateur Pool League, playnapl.com. Poison Billiards, Pool on the Net, Delta 13, Pocket Coach, BilliardPress.com, Pool.biz, QTable.com, and Master Chalk. And of course, our media sponsors, the amazing, the awesome, the fabulous Inside Pool and NYC Grind, who are providing you this live stream for free, mind you, and Pool Mac, Billiards Digest, and azbilliards.com. This has been a collaboration of the Predator Pro-Am Tour, Tri-State Tour, and Mez Tour in honor of George Ginky Sansusi. Dennis to break.
Yeah, we'd also like to give a special shout out to Eli Ceballos and Andre Ramos, who play in the NAPL, National Amateur Pool League, Brooklyn division that I started this season. And they're warriors. I got here right before my match at 10 a.m. I've been here since like 9:30 a.m. and they were here and they're still here.
Yeah?
So they're having a ball here. And Eli is actually a professional photographer, so he's been taking pictures all day long. So it's pretty awesome.
They are definitely enjoying this free pool action here at Steinway Billiards in Astoria, Queens.
Now, this is one of those tricky shots. Unless he intends on shooting the 2 in the side off the 10, he has to hit this really good to come like right in between where the 2 and the 3 are diagonally.
Couldn't you just stop shot? Why not just take the 2 up table?
Well, if it goes up the table, then that's a good shot.
Yeah. I'll teach you that shot later, honey.
Yeah, I'd love to take lessons.
Aren't you always telling me? Kiss, keep it simple, stupid.
That's right. Buddy Hall once told me, and I said that earlier today during one of the matches, that he said whenever you're unsure of what to do, always do what's easiest.
Mm-hmm. This was, you're watching the finals of the Open Pro event. It had 61 players in it, and we also ran a 128-player ABCD event. There's a staggered entry for that tournament, ranging from, I think it was 90 all the way down to 60. And the Predator Tour has ABCD and Open Pro events playing alongside one another most of the stops that we have. And their amateur event is a staggered entry fee. So if you ever are in the area and you're interested in playing in one of the tournaments on the Predator Tour, you can always go to our website, predatorproamtour.com, and check it out. There are also other options for you too, the Tri-State Tour and the Mez Tour, who also travel around the Tri-State area, offering tournaments for you guys.
Nice shot on the 3 ball, but that was a surprise miss by, excuse me, by Mike Davis. This little bumperoni action here on the 8 ball to get on the 5.
Bump.
And he hit that with what I call smart speed. He wants to make sure he doesn't move the 8
Right.
too far from the 6 to keep it simple, stupid.
Kiss, kiss. Little romance going on this table. A nice shot there. I like fancy looking shots like that.
Yeah, we make it look so easy.
You do. It's annoying. It's annoying for us amateurs to watch you guys make it look so easy.
I don't. You just took me to school. That's what L.A. Slim just said.
Oh.
Gail's taking Tony to school.
Hmm.
But anyway, he should be fine here. I mean, he has I think this is a great angle here. I mean, unless he intends to shoot a 10, but he has just enough angle to come off the bottom rail and end up more or less where his cue is at. It's actually a natural position shot here. He doesn't have to do anything special.
Oh.
Wow, but he missed the ball. Wow. You know what it is, too? You have to admit. I mean, we've been here since 10 a.m.
Yes.
And everyone's just tired.
Everyone is tired. I mean, what is it now? 12:15 at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Dennis has been sitting for a while. He was waiting for his turn at the table. He played Tom. How long ago did the hot seat match finish?
I don't remember.
Been a while. So I mean, he's trying to get back a little bit of his mojo from sitting and waiting for the one loss side to catch up. Good shot by Mike Davis.
I
If he
see
got
Joe
perfect on
Janglin
that.
from Omaha, Nebraska.
Look at. I think he got.
No, he's fine here. I think he's good. I think he's just wants to make sure that he doesn't end up. He could even just stop the ball there and shoot the 10 in the lower right-hand pocket. Right? That's what he
Yeah.
has to do. Just keep it simple, stupid, like you said.
But see, for me personally, shots where the cue ball's so close to the object ball that I'm shooting, I actually just missed this tonight in the playoffs that we were playing in. I always just find that it's just that much more difficult to see. It's almost like a mirage. So that was a really good shot, I feel, from Mike Davis, because I know I particularly struggle with those shots. While we were doing the raffle and waiting for this final match to start, Jerry Tarantola of NYC Grind played a George Sanssouci, what do you want to call it, like a
Memorial video.
memorial video of Ginky, and so we got to see Ginky playing pool back in the day, and his friend John Helisea, who's also unfortunately passed away in the last 2 years, was also in the video, and a lot of people were really, really affected by Ginky passing away, and New York has not forgotten him. And as long as Tony has breath in him, I'm sure he's going to make sure that they don't.
I will make it my business to make sure that his memory lives on as long as I'm alive. The kid absolutely deserves it.
And Mike did not pot a ball on that break.
I kind of like this shot because, Dennis could, even if he wanted to, he could just hit with a little inside spin and stop in front of the 5 and the 9 just in case he misses it. But, I mean, he can make him shoot again, but still.
Ooh, nice shot.
I don't know if it's going to go in. I don't think it's going to go in.
I really thought that was gonna drop.
So, Gail, what's your website? Is it PredatorProAmTour.com? That's correct.
Yes.
You work on that website yourself, right?
No. That's actually Rob Oman of PoolOnTheNet.com. He updates that site for us. He does a
Very good.
fantastic job.
And what will we find if we go to PredatorProAmTour.com?
A picture of Tony.
Nice.
You will also find the results from all of our previous tournaments, as well as a schedule, standings, because we do give Player of the Year awards at the end of each year, and our season ends in December. We have actually, I think, 5 tournaments in a row after this, every weekend for the next 5 weekends, including one in Rhode Island. It's Snookers, which is the first time we're going to be up there. Be up there in 2 weeks. And a lot of the snooker players actually came down to play in this event, so we were excited to see them make the trip down here.
Wonderful.
Yeah. What did you think of this event, Mr. Alvin?
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
I've been to hundreds of events, and they treat me really well here. You know, I'm always treated very well. So, and the event's great. The layout's great. I highly suggest everyone. Actually, I command you to come to Steinway Billiards at some point in the near future and visit this wonderful place. This is an awesome event. Hopefully we'll be back here next year for this event.
I agree.
It's pretty simple. So.
Yep, I hope so. Mike is navigating this table quite nicely. I don't see any problems at all. With the stroke he's got, he's going to be able to bring it down for the 6-7. And he got a really nice angle to do that.
Got that snow shovel stroke. Going to draw it up table.
I always thought it was like a saw, like, you know, the lumbermen back in the day. Mm-hmm. I guess they still do it. I think they're lumbermen still.
Lumberjack.
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm such a city girl, lumberman. Nice. No problems.
I want to thank all our moderators, Corner Market Bob, Upstate Al, all the hard work they do. Snooker, Heather Kurtz, Steve Kurtz. Anya, of course, and Snooker. And all of our wonderful pool family out there tuning in from New York.
Yeah, actually, I think I just saw somebody say that they were in Australia watching.
Oh, yeah, they're watching all over the globe.
That's amazing.
They're watching from out in space, even.
And Mike Davis gets on the board. Oh, he was on the board. Now he ties it up 2-2.
Yes, sir. I'm taking them out to dinner.
Oh, that's nice. Germany and Romania as well are in the house.
Wow.
I was actually in Romania, I want to say 3 years ago. It is beautiful. I took a river cruise down the Danube with my family, and I think that Budapest at night on the river is even prettier than Paris. Everybody says Paris is the prettiest city. I disagree. I think Budapest at night on the river is to die for. And Mike did not use the opportunity for his break well. He scratched on that break.
This table has been breaking tough all tournament long, and I mean the entire event, and even in the Steinway Classic last week, this table has been breaking very, very tough.
You know, what's strange is that even Shane, who everybody, you know, arguably has the best break, 10-ball break by far.
Oh yeah.
And he even struggled with the break on this table. I mean, I saw him break dry more often than not. I've never ever seen him struggle so much with his break.
Aaron McDonough rooting for Hatch. You ever watch baseball playoffs where they say, "Oh yeah, next batter up. This guy hasn't hit a home run all season long. They're in the, and they're in the playoffs, and all of a sudden, going, gone. You know, That must have happened a lot. I don't know if I jinx some of these players, but normally when I say there should be no. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, whenever I say that, I don't see any problems here. I don't know where they miss a ball in front of the pocket.
Yep.
Just goes to show we're all human. But I'm gonna say it again. I don't see any problems here. I say Dennis is out from here.
I say Dennis is out too.
And he looks like he's focused again. I think he was pissed. But
You
I
did it.
jinxed it again.
It's the
He's
Tony
scratching his
Robles
side.
going, gone effect.
Do you want to
Oh
do
my
commentary,
gosh.
Alvin? Yeah. Reggie, thanks, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. As soon as I mention it,
Mm-hmm.
curse the commentator, says Heather Kurtz.
And actually, you want to know what? You want to hear something interesting? I think that was the same pocket Dennis scratched in when he lost to Ralph Eckert
Yeah, in the Steinway Classic.
in the Steinway
That- that
Classic.
Hill, Hill, I remember
That
that.
side pocket doesn't like him.
But I can tell you this. I mean, listen, these guys have worked very hard all day long, been playing hard all day long, and for them to get this far, I mean, you have to expect them to make mistakes. So it's the guy that wants it most is the one that's going to get the win tonight. That's just the bottom line because they're tired. Everyone's tired. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
I'm a tireless worker.
Mr. Ronnie Park is in the chat room, and I'm being asked if I meant Bucharest. No, I've been to Bucharest as well, and it had a lot of parks, and it was very beautiful, but I did mean Budapest, Hungary.
Yes, a good idea. I like that. I should say that Dennis is going to miss from now on so he can get out. And the same goes for Mike Davis from Jay Bartolo. I like that. Yeah, I mean, listen, we're all human. It can happen in any point in time. Look at Shane. Shane just was not himself
No.
today. Yesterday he was awesome. Today he just was not himself. He didn't look like he was. He looked like he was worn out.
I mean, it's been a lot of weeks on playing here. I mean, they had the World Straight Pool, and we then went right into the Steinway Classic. Give it maybe 3 days, and they were all playing in the tournament, the local tournament here, practicing here, doing whatever here. And then they started with the Ginky Memorial. I mean, it's been a lot of pool nonstop.
Yeah.
I mean, stamina eventually runs out. Any problem areas that you can find here? Maybe 6? I mean, the 5 leads up to
because
it, right?
the five is in a good area. It's in the correct side of the table in order to play position on the 6. And I think the problem here is the 2 to the 4, and I think that Mike had just got a great angle here.
Yeah.
Go 2 rails, come off the rail. I mean, he can even draw back 1 rail. It all depends on how thick or thin he can hit the ball. If he can hit the ball on the thick side, he's probably going to draw 1 rail. If he's cutting it more, then he's going to go 2 rails.
Ooh.
See, but he's shocked. He's shocked that he hit it like that.
And he got a
Because
roll.
He hit that ball fuller. You can look at it. You can look at it 2 ways. He either hit it too full, or he hit the cue ball too low.
Mm-hmm. He definitely didn't hit it the way he was trying to hit it in his mind.
Yeah, he didn't hit the way he planned to, but I tell you what, he caught a good roll there because he can still see the 4, and he lowered down the 7 a bit. He moved the 7. He nudged it a bit. So now, I think it becomes easier to play position on the 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he was very fortunate that he didn't get stuck behind the 8 ball. And after.
Is Omar Coffee still in the chat?
I mean, not for nothing. Even on a Monday night here, there's still a decent amount of people in the room. I'm really impressed.
Me? I don't remember.
I may have. Yeah. And that was a really nice roll for Mike because that definitely made the rack all that more easy to run out.
Nice stop shot. One, maybe two rails for the nine, and then just cinch the nine to the side and come up by about a foot and a half, and he'll be fine. And no, I'm not jinxing it. I
Yes,
wonder if he got a little straighter than what he bargained for, maybe.
that's because you said something
No?
about him running out.
Yeah, I guess he did because he looks like he's in the ball low. What?
Wow. I mean, he did good, but wow.
He hit it good. He hit it good. He hit that real good. No, he knew that he could hit that ball full enough to avoid running into the 10. That's why he took the risk.
Do you happen to know where Mike is from? Or where he's currently residing?
I believe he's originally from Virginia, right? I think that he now resides in Maryland. I believe he took it.
Oh, okay. Anybody, perhaps people in our chat room have some more information for us? We'll have the Wikipedias going crazy, Googling Mike Davis.
Wow, I'll tell you what, I am very happy with the way the tournaments went with the World 14.1, the Steinway Classic, and the Ginky Memorial. But I can't wait to get to sleep tonight. I'm going to sleep until I cannot sleep anymore.
I was telling people in the chat earlier that I am on a countdown for the massage we're getting tomorrow.
Yep, that's right. We are going for a
Yes, we
massage.
are.
You better believe we are. Then after that, we're going to take my good friend Alvin to dinner.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nope. Free ball, last minute entry. We've got action.
Virginia, right? That's what they said, Virginia?
I think I should get a cup of coffee.
Such a tricky shot to shoot on this table, too, because it's so easy to overhit the ball. But he actually got on the correct side of the tube.
Yeah. He did that. He executed that really well. Hell of a nice, easy drag down for the four ball in the side pocket. Unless he decides to shoot it in the corner.
He can shoot it in the corner, in the side, or the opposite corner. He has options here. It all depends on how thick or thin he can hit the ball. If he can hit the ball full enough to draw in between the 4 and the 5, then he can play in the side. If he overhits it, he plays in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And he might decide to just trickle down a bit just to play the 4 in the lower right-hand corner. It all depends. See, right between the 4 and the 5.
Yeah.
He
Very
doesn't want to go
nice.
too far because, the 5 doesn't have access to this pocket. I
Right.
believe.
He shot that well. That was some nice speed.
No, Mike's been pretty consistent the entire event. He's been pretty consistent the entire tournament, and he's a grinder. He's a grinder. I mean, I don't know if most of you know, but he decided to quit pool so that he can go in and look for a really nice job. And he went to an interview. He posted up a picture on Facebook with him in a suit and a tie. And this would be a great way to quit. I don't know how long he plans quitting for, but this would be a nice win before quitting.
Yeah.
I just hope, some guys, they'll win a tournament like this and they say, I'm not going to quit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I think he's definitely going to pursue that, and I wish him the absolute best of luck. And it's always a pleasure seeing Mike at our events because he really is a good guy.
Yeah. Yep. No problems from Mike. He's got the speed down well.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to shoot the 8-10 carom or he's going to try and run out.
Unbelievable. I think that he snookered himself. It's so hard to tell from this angle if he can see enough of the 8 ball to make that. From here, it looks like he's going to actually thin it too much. Mm-mm-mm. Just as I said, he was getting the speed of the table.
Was he?
Yeah, maybe Tony and I should just keep quiet. Ah, no, I'm still right. I'm still. He had plenty of the meat of the 8 ball in order to make that ball. No problems here. And Mike Davis is going to take a commanding 5-2 lead if he makes this ball. I have now kicked out Tony, and I have put in JT.
What's up? What's up, party people?
How you doing, JT?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm enjoying all of the festivities here. Everyone's in a great mood. The energy is great. And just good vibe here in New York City across the board. A lot of great pool, a lot of great players. And this event just drew a who's who of talent. So it was really a pleasure to be able to watch and be a part of this event.
I hear we might be able to get to see that George Ginky Sansusi video you made.
Yeah, we played it here on the television screens for everyone to watch here, and I believe Alvin's going to play it after the stream. So
Oh,
that's
that
going
would
to
be
be pretty
great.
cool.
So make sure you stick around after the stream. There's a chance you'll get to see that video that was produced by NYC Grinds, JT.
Yeah, thanks. It was a very challenging project for me to work on.
I
I've
bet.
spent a lot of time with Ginky over the years. He was a friend of mine, and I really put a lot into it, and it came from the heart.
Well, I mean, and unfortunately, there was not only Ginky in there, but there was John.
Yeah,
And it's, did you make the video before or after John passed away?
that was before John passed away.
Wow.
Yeah,
Even worse.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. That's unfortunate as well. Two great talents in the New York area. Of course, Ginky, legendary player, and John was Ginky's protege. Spent a lot of time with Ginky. Ginky showed him a lot, and he had a lot of talent, a lot of ability, and it's unfortunate that he's no longer with us, and he will be remembered.
but on a more positive note, one of Ginky's most, I don't know what the word is. Ginky was an idol to this guy who just recently won the ABCD tournament here, Mr. Michael Yednek. Took down 128 players to win the 3rd annual George Ginky Sansusi Memorial Tournament. And it could not have been a better person to win, considering how close Michael and Ginky were. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, you're absolutely right. No question. Mike really did adore Ginky, and looked up to Ginky and patterned and modeled his game and a lot of his mannerisms and his approach in terms of dress and professionalism and commitment and dedication and things of that nature, which Ginky represented. And Mike embodies a lot of that. He brings a lot of that to the table as well, and that competitive instinct.
Yeah.
So yeah, well deserving of Michael Yednek. He's been putting in the time and effort, and he was impressive this weekend. So congratulations, and a big kudos go out to Michael Yednek.
yeah, definitely. We're really, really happy for you, Michael. I know Ginky's looking down very, very proud.
So here right now, Dennis.
Dennis needs to catch a gear.
He made an unfortunate error, and it was kind of like a weird. I saw the shot where he made the 7 and scratched in the side pocket. It was like weird, just the way the cue ball reacted. So, that so far is definitely the turning point of the set, but it's still very early on. It's a race of 15 games, and two great players here. So a lot of pool still left to go, and right now Michael's eyeing the table. He's looking at a very long distance shot on the one where I don't think he really has a pocket. So if I was Mike, I would go for a save. But let's see what Mike does.
I think safety too. I don't really. I mean, how do you get out of this? Even if you tried to go offense, I don't know what you do with the 2 ball.
Right.
That could be. Did he
Well,
get
let's
enough?
see.
Did he
Wow.
get enough? He wanted to bump that 10 a little bit more so that if he has the opportunity for the run out at the table, he could actually pocket the 2 ball. I don't know if he can see enough of the 2 ball to make it. Can you tell?
I don't believe he can, but I'm not sure from this angle.
And I'm surprised Dennis. Did he call that?
No, he's looking up at Mike, I believe. So Mike has the option.
No, he's staying at the table.
Wow.
He called that.
That was impressive.
Wow.
If he called that, which it looks like he did. Wow.
I didn't see that.
Creative.
It was. As tired as he is, he still could be that clever.
What a great bank shot from Dennis, the Hatchet Man Hatch. But right now, he still has a lot of work to do. The 2 ball does not go from this vantage point. So it looks like he's going to be playing it safe. But the way he's stroking this ball, I'm not sure.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Great save by Dennis.
Very
Direction was
good.
great. Left Mike. Large challenge here. Because basically coming off the side rail, the 6'9", could be a problem. He's going to have to hit it with a lot of left English. And even when if he is to hit the 2 ball, there could still be some problems there. So let's see what happens. This is tricky.
I love Dennis. Dennis hit the safety like that, and then he looks at Mike, kind of like, what are you going to do now? Love it. Mr. Intimidator.
Well, I was outside speaking with Dennis, and Dennis goes, "Jerry, I just want you to know that if I am to win this tournament, I'm probably not going to be able to hold back the tears because
Aw.
this event means the world to me." And,
Really?
yeah, he said that to me. He goes, "This event means the world to me, and I'm going to really give all that I can to be able to capture this title in memory of Ginky."
That's now I might be rooting for somebody. Nothing against Mike Davis,
No, of course
but
not.
that means that would be wonderful.
Well, it would be wonderful for whoever will win this event to have fond memories and fond thoughts and keep Ginky in his heart or have Ginky in his heart while he's playing. And knowing that's the case with Dennis, that's wonderful. I'm not sure how Mike feels about the situation or how important this is for Mike. I have nothing but great things to say about Mike Davis. He's a consummate professional. He also is, I guess, willing to put in the time and the energy and the effort to work on his game and perfect his game. Unfortunately, I heard recently he's looking to pull back from the game. It was kind of a surprise to see him play in the World Straight Pool as well as this event. But it's been a treat for a lot of these players because they've got an opportunity to see one of the greatest players. And right now, Dennis Hatch is eyeing up the 6 ball and looking to close the gap to 5-3, but he does still have a little work to do here. The 9 ball does not look like it passes the 10 ball. I'm not sure. What do you think, Gail?
I mean, these are not the tightest of pockets, so he may be able to finagle it through the 10 ball, even if he hit it the rail first slightly. If he hit it at a good speed, he can let it squeak by the 10 ball.
Okay. Let's see what Dennis does here. I'm curious if he's going to try to break this up or just play the position.
He must feel comfortable with this shot.
Wow. I think he's
Must
playing the bank.
You think he's going for the bank?
I think he's going for the bank shot. Wow, no, it went right in.
He
shot.
didn't even touch the 10
No.
ball.
It's a good shot. Dennis
Well.
Hatch closes the gap to 5-3.
Don't play our lottery numbers.
Yeah, a lot of pools still left to go. This is a race to 15. Throughout the tournament, it was a race to 9 games, but here in the final match, it's a race to 15.
I think both of these guys are working out their beginning of the match jitters or exhaustion, whatever you want to call it, because they both made some unforced errors earlier in the first, 7 racks?
Yeah, Mike Davis just finished a very challenging and I guess gut-wrenching match against Tom DeLafonso, Boston Shorty Jr., the other Boston Shorty. There's two. One is a legendary player, and Tom DeLafonso is one of the young talents in the game. Wow, what a break by Dennis Hatch. Wow.
Where's the fire?
Look at this break. Hey, he does have a shot on the one ball. Let's see what happens here. I would try to thread the needle between the 2 and the 8.
You would?
And try to avoid that side pocket and just take that risk. That's the way I would aim this ball. What would you do here, Gail?
Me?
Yeah.
Am I me or am I
Yeah,
Dennis
no,
Hatch?
you're you.
I'm me. I'm shooting for the 210 combo.
The 210. Okay.
But that's because I'm me, and I don't know if I would be able to thread any needles in pool.
Okay.
See, and he should have listened to me because now he's stuck behind the 8 ball.
Yes, fair enough.
Does he kick the 2 and call the no? Because this is call shot, call safe, so he's not
Yeah,
going to do something stupid.
I would just kick this very softly and try to hit 2 rails. The side rail first. Oh, okay.
Or
So he
hit
went
it
hard. Yeah, well, okay. The thought that I had was to hit 2 rails and just skim the 2 ball in a way where the 2 would just end up on that side rail and leave Mike the bank. But yeah, Dennis really put a nice stroke into that shot. But unfortunately for Dennis, Mike is looking at a pretty easy, it's a pretty good opportunity here and an easy shot on the 2. Let's see how he gets from the 2 to the 3.
I'm really surprised with Dennis being behind in the match that he didn't take more time on that shot. I mean, that just seemed kind of rushed considering the importance of 6-3 versus 5-4.
This is a huge game here across the board. And if Mike is able to finish this game off with a 3-10 combo, he's going to be taking a commanding lead here. 6 games to 3.
And see that little Dennis helping Mike pull balls away? I think that's a Dennis. Let's get this moving because I'm about to turn on
Yeah,
my
I just
little
can't
engine.
wait to get back to the table. So
Yeah,
let's
let's get
keep
this moving. You go ahead and rack real quick. No, go ahead and break because next time I get to the table, the games are over.
Dennis is one of my favorite players to watch. He's an aggressive player who has a fast tempo and really digs deep and does a lot with the cue ball when he has to. He's impressive to me in a lot of different ways. He tends to, under very difficult, under very challenging situations, come out smelling like roses a lot of times. So I've seen him throughout the years be down tremendous deficits and come back. So I wouldn't count out Dennis here at all. 6 games to 3 in a race to 15. But right now, Mike has control of the game, and he's breaking the balls right now. Let's see what he's got.
I'll see if he's changed his spot. Last time he broke the balls, he was the screen you're looking at. He was on the left-hand side, just two balls away from the spot. Nope, keeping that location for his cue ball.
Right. Well, a nice solid break by Mike, but I'm not sure, did he drop a ball?
No, these guys are tired because they keep sending that 10 ball to the pocket in the hopes that this is a faster final than normal. I think we're going to have another really short rack here. It's a race to the 1 ball. Now, do you call the 10 ball here, JT?
I wouldn't have, because I would have played a kick safe there and just hoped to leave no shot on Mike to have an opportunity for the 310. Because the way the 10 is sitting, you would really have to hit that hit the one ball perfectly in order to make it. So the odds were low. That was a pretty big miss by Dennis. It was a
Dennis.
challenging shot, a little tricky, but uncharacteristic miss.
And Tony and I were talking about it earlier. I think Dennis, he was sitting a long time waiting for this match to get started. And like you said earlier, Mike and Tom DiAlfonso had a grudge match in that semifinals. It did go hill, and Mike came out on top. But, Dennis has been sitting a while, and you never know. Maybe he's, ate dinner, you got the food coma going, you're tired. It is nearly 1 o'clock in the morning here. These guys have been here, most of them since 10 a.m., while Mike Davis has not let his pool adrenaline stop. He's been nonstop all day, grinding it out without a break.
Yeah, in this situation, I do tend to favor the player who's been playing a lot and the player who's just come off of a match versus the player that's been sitting for a little while. Even though some may think, that player may be fresher, I still tend to believe that the player who's just came off the table, who's hot, who just come off with a win, tends to be the favorite if everything else is evenly matched. But right here, across the board, Dennis has a pedigree and a resume that very few people on this planet could match. And Mike is the underdog in this match, although he's extremely capable of winning this. He is the underdog so far, so I'm confident that a lot of people here are surprised that Mike is taking this standing lead out of the gate. But again, there's a lot of a pool to go left, and so far Mike is controlling the time, the tempo, and a lot of different factors of this set.
Yeah. And Mike's a regular on tour stops like this where, this is a Monday night because it's unusual, but Sunday night, he's very used to playing these midnight 1 and 2 a.m. finals. He plays a lot on the Mez Tour, I think, correct?
That's
Joss
correct.
Tour.
Yeah.
So, and this is not unfamiliar territory. Not that it is to Dennis either, but, he definitely has gained a lot of endurance experience when it comes to tournaments that last this long.
Absolutely, I agree. Now here, Mike attempted to try to jump the ball in, and since he didn't make it and left Dennis safe, Dennis has the option to either shoot or give it back. And of course, since the cue ball is frozen behind the 8-ball, literally behind the 8-ball.
It's been there a lot.
Yeah, Dennis was very quick to not get out of his chair and say, please, Mike, go ahead. And right now, if Mike is unable to hit the 2-ball, it looks like a very quick 2-10 combo, which would close the gap to 6-4. But if Mike is successful in playing the kick carom here, I believe that he would call it 10. Plays it. Whoa.
Nope, a short rack.
All right, so 6 game. Well, let's see what happens here. But if Dennis is able to either shoot the 2 into the 10 or the 2, then the 3 into the 10, it will be. Well, he shot a 3-ball combo. Wow.
Combo. And he
6
shot it like it was
4.
like a ball hanging in the pocket.
That's correct. Yeah.
I wanted to say something, because I feel like these two are struggling a little bit. It's not the best pool I've seen them play this tournament. This room is a little different temperature-wise right now than it's been the whole weekend. It's been freezing in here. And for me, I'm comfortable, and I'm a girl, which means it's probably warm to all the guys in here. It's definitely not as cold as it's been, and that changes the way the table plays. So maybe, I don't know, just my theory.
Okay. Well, it is different. You're right about that. The temperature and the feel in the room is different. And yes, the tables do react differently depending on how the tables, how the temperature is and the humidity factor.
Oh, yeah, and it rained all day.
That's correct.
It rained all day long
So
here.
you do have a good point, and that may be a factor. Absolutely. I'm not
just
sure.
making excuses for these guys. I'm
Well,
trying to make it.
I think in the case of Dennis, I think the weight was a big factor in terms of how he started the set. And that uncharacteristic scratch was just weird. It was a momentum swing. And Mike, Mike's not playing horrible. I think Mike's playing pretty good, but he's still not playing as good as he has played in some of his other sets. Absolutely. But right now, 6-4, Mike Davis, Iron Mike, is holding on to that lead. But Dennis Hatch is at the table looking at a 1-ball shot, and he either has an extreme cut on the 1 or a safety. Let's see what he does.
What would you do here?
I'd fire this cut. I'd cut this one ball in because if you're going to play it safe here, if you look at the different options here, I don't really like skimming it very thinly and bringing the cue ball back straight down because there are a lot of different things that can happen there. The three is close to that corner pocket. Potentially, you can cut the one to the, have a little help by the three. So right here, I'd just be aggressive and try to backward cut this ball in. But I don't know did he try to bank the
I
one
have
to the 10?
no
I think
idea.
he tried to bank the one into the 10 ball. That's the direction he shot that. Wow.
That wasn't on either one of our options.
That's right. I was not expecting for him to
Don't worry,
shoot
it wasn't
that.
on my list either.
Okay.
So
All right.
I have
Well-
no idea what's going on right now.
All right. That's what he had to. He had to try to bank the one to the 10 the way he shot that ball.
And it's that side pocket again. That side pocket has been Dennis's nemesis for a week now. Dennis nemesis? Say that 3 times.
Well, Gail, I just want to take this moment since this is not a highly exciting moment in this game. Mike's eyeing up a 1-3 combination with ball in hand, which he should be able to do and start making some work towards running this rack out. But I just want to take a moment to acknowledge both you and Tony and Finnegan for doing a really great job with the Predator 9-Ball Tour, the Predator Pro-Am Tour, both with the amateur events as well as the Open Pro events. So you've been doing a really great job, and I want to tip my hat to you.
Thank you very much, JT. I really appreciated that. We have been putting in the time for weeks now to get this thing organized, and we absolutely could not have done it without all of the people that contribute to the event, the Tri-State Tour, the Mez Tour, John Lehman and Todd Fleetman of the Tri-State Tour, and Jose Burgos of the Mez Tour, as well as you at NYC Grind, Alvin, and Upstate Al from Inside Pool, Steinway Billiards Cafe, and all of our sponsors. I'll go through the list of sponsors when we get between racks here, but it's a collaboration. It's not a one-man show. It is so many people behind the scenes, the little ant hills back. Everybody's moving around trying to make everything work, and then the players. I mean, the players are the ones that came, showed up, got their entry fees to us so that we could make everything as organized as possible before the event started. So kudos to everybody, including the players. And I think the person that would be clapping the hardest would be Ginky if it was here.
Yeah, no question about that. And bottom line, Ginky was all about pool. And there were a lot of people in the pool room, a lot of action, a lot of things stirring up, things going on. He was like a kid in a candy store. So if he was here right now, there's just no question that he would be loving it.
Oh, yeah.
And, I really don't know how it all works, but my gut is Ginky is smiling down on us right now.
Oh, he's hustling some angels up there. I know it. He is totally hustling. And the pretty ones, he's teaching them how to play pool.
That's fun.
So he's having a ball up there, and they're all enjoying the fact that he's up there. So don't worry, he's not. He's being entertaining to a lot of people.
Yeah, I bet. He's probably
Continues.
cracking jokes right now.
He definitely is. Ginky had some great jokes. Not always politically correct jokes.
That's
but,
right. And not always funny, but
always funny.
sometimes he'd come with a really dry joke where he would like deliver it like it was the best thing in the world, and I'll be like, Gink, that's just not funny.
That wasn't funny. Okay, well, let me do another one.
Right. But no, overall, he was a very funny guy, had a great sense of humor, and even though he took this game very seriously, he knew how to laugh at himself and life in general.
Yeah. I might be going too far here with the Ginky memories. I'll tell mine. My most favorite Ginky memory is it was my birthday, and I was shooting a ball, and there was it was not a dry birthday. There was definitely liquid being consumed, and I was going for a shot, and that was to beat Ginky, and Ginky decided to lay across the table in a very sexy posed way, trying to shark me.
Did it work?
No, because Ginky doesn't pull off sexy like that. And then so I returned the favor to him, and I was more successful. I have more to work with than he did in that area. So he was, but that's one of my favorite memories of Ginky was my birthday because he was just being fun. It was actually in the pit at Amsterdam.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'll be his boss lady. That's what he used to always call me, boss lady.
So Dennis Hatch here has 3 balls left between being able to close the gap to 6 games to 5, I believe. 1 second. Let me just see this other camera angle just to double check that it's 6 games to 5. Yeah, it would be 6 games to 5. Okay. So Dennis is going to make quick work of the 9 and 10. 9 in the bottom corner, 10 in the top corner, and we'll look to close the gap to 6 games to 5 with Dennis breaking here in this race to 15 at Steinway Billiards.
Do you have a favorite Ginky memory?
I have a lot of different
No, I said
memories, but my
favorite.
favorite, right?
Favorite.
If I had to say my favorite Ginky memory, it was actually it was a fairly recent memory. It was on his birthday, and it was me, Ginky, and John Elisea, and Snooky. We all drove down to Rax, and it was both, I think it was Snooky's birthday as well as Ginky's birthday. And I remember Snooky brought a cake for Ginky, and he won the tournament at Rax, and we all had birthday cake outside, like in the
Was
parking
this the
lot.
Empire State Championship?
I don't.
He won
I don't
that,
know if
didn't
it
he?
was the Empire State Championships.
Oh, maybe he. Okay, never
I
mind.
think
I'm
it was.
sorry.
No, I don't. I don't think it was an Empire State Championships. I don't think it was at the Empire State Championships. It was an
Okay,
event at
sorry.
Rax.
Sorry,
That's
I
okay.
interrupted you.
It's cool. It was an event at Rax, and I just know that I've never seen him so happy,
Aw.
and so like just he was in such a good mood. He won the tournament. He had his birthday cake. He was outside just having fun with the whole thing, and we took pictures and stuff like that, and it was just a lot of fun. So that's the most recent kind of memory in my mind, but across the board I've had some of the most I guess a lot of different memories have left an impression on me when Ginky's been around. Some are relating to like his play in pool, because he's blown my mind so many different times watching him play in different situations, and some were I guess him taking more of a mentor role or a sideline role where he would be sweating a match or a tournament match that I've played, or if I was playing someone in an action match, and he would give me feedback, or he'd be pulling for me, or whatever the case may be. And I've really learned a lot from Ginky's perspectives over the years. So I have a lot of those memories as well as just watching him play. And man, I mean, I have a lot of really great memories of watching Tony play as well. As a young player, these players have influenced me a lot.
Yeah.
Tony was always one of my favorite players, and Ginky, of course, as well. Different styles, different approaches, which I loved. I loved the fact that both Ginky and Tony had a little bit of a different style, because I was able to kind of pull apart or take different pieces
Yeah.
from the different games.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that I modeled my game
I see more Ginky in
more,
your game.
right. I
Yeah,
modeled my
totally.
game more towards what Ginky's
Yeah.
style and approach was.
Ginky was
at
a
the
little bit more
table.
flamboyant and had a bit more flair, to his game. I mean, Tony, don't get me wrong, I think Tony's sexy and he's got that grace and everything like that, but Ginky was a bit more of a flair
Yeah.
in his stroke and in his strut, in his break. I mean, your break and Ginky's break are pretty similar in that explosive nature thing you guys got going on.
Are you trying to say I have flair?
You got some flair. You got some flair. Just avoid the jazz hands, because then you'll give the wrong impression. But other than that,
Man.
you got flair.
Sometimes my flair makes me feel like I want to jump out of my skin when I jump out of the shop. But no, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
You should. That it was meant to be. But while we were having all that chit chat, Mike Davis was running out this table, and I've been paying a little bit of attention to Dennis's reactions to everything, and he's kind of looking to the side and looking to the side, and he's annoyed. He's just annoyed right now because he's not really sure what's going on with that back arm, but it's not doing what his brain's telling.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. And Mike has a very unorthodox style, but very, very effective. He comes through the balls clean. He does have a great stroke, a big break, and he's solid. I mean, he's one of the most consistently solid players that I've seen on the regional circuit. No question. I've seen him at a lot of different Mez events, different Joss events, different events, and he's been dominant in many of those events. So Dennis has his hands full here, and it looks like Mike is going to continue to build upon his lead and make a
7-5.
7-5 scoreline here. All right.
Any reason? I mean, because I've never seen anybody else's stroke where they actually use the hinge of their shoulder rather than the elbow. Have you ever interviewed him, or has anybody ever interviewed him to find out why that was the direction he chose for that arm rather than the elbow, like the majority of people?
Yeah, I have asked him that, and if I remember correctly, because it's been a while, I believe that he just learned that way, and he was comfortable that way, and he just developed certain habits, and he just stuck with them.
He just stuck with it.
Yeah.
Huh? Wow.
That's what I remember. Can't really quote me on that because it's been many years, but I'm pretty confident that that's the case.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you know, it's more of a seesaw style stroke, and it's like an up and down motion. But when he does come through the cue ball, he comes through sweet. He comes through clean. Like, watch this break. And even though he has his like seesaw up and down kind of motion, when he comes through the balls, he comes through clean. He comes through straight. Let's see what he's got here. Look at his stick, straight, completely in line. He did hit the one slightly, hit a little bit to the right side, his right side, our left, as we're viewing it right now. And that was a factor in the result of him not making a ball in the break. And right now, Dennis is quick to jump up.
But he's not
Down
looking at a
2
pretty
games.
rack.
That's right. Well, let's see. Yeah, let's see what he does here. He has some work to do.
Yeah, everything is just, they haven't been very easy racks. Have we seen a break and run yet? I mean, in 12 racks?
I don't believe. I haven't seen the very beginning.
I don't think so.
Because
they were making all those
in its
mistakes.
entirety.
In the beginning, I think whenever there was a break and run opportunity, they weren't capitalizing on it, but we're going to have another safety battle again when it couldn't be any later. I want to send a shout out to Snooky, Diana Rojas, who I see is in the chat, and she was also making a few comments here and there about your Ginky memories. She was there with you at Rax. So hello to Diana Rojas.
Snookalicious, as I like to call her.
Who has the cutest dog ever, Snoopy.
Adorable.
So cute. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Adorable.
Nearly stole him last night, but she was watching me the whole time.
You can't not smile and play with that dog. There's no way that you're not giddy like a little kid with that dog around. It's really true. I don't know. I saw 7 people outside giddy like a little kid with that dog. He was so adorable. He was so adorable. But anyway, here we are.
Nope.
And we have 2 warriors trying to battle this out for a very, in my opinion, this is a title that a lot of players really want to be able to win. Each year, better quality players. I guess as a whole. I mean, of course, I'm not comparing some of the players who came last year versus some, but as a whole, holistically, much stronger players overall than the last previous years, and
Yeah.
the amateur events are also, I believe, getting filled up with better talent.
Yes.
I'm noticing, right?
Oh, no, I can give you the stats, actually.
Yeah.
We used to be a split tour for the amateur. It was ABs on the top and CDs on the bottom, split bracket. And last year, when we did have a split bracket and both fields filled up, it was 64 and 64.
Okay.
This year, the top, the A plus, B plus bracket, there was no bracket, but the total number of A's to B's was 91 out of 128.
Wow.
So it tells you how many strong players were playing in
Wow.
that tournament compared to 64 last year. And it's just getting stronger. And the thing is, our player names haven't really changed. It's the same people. But they
getting
just
better.
keep challenging themselves. And they've got so many opportunities here in New York, from our tour to the Tri-State to the Mez. William Finnegan runs 2 tournaments, Mondays and Wednesdays here, that a lot of players compete in. Their games are being elevated. There's so many leagues to play in. You have the National Amateur Pool League that Tony and I run, Amsterdam Society. There's just so many leagues and tournaments to play in, and the players are just getting better and stronger.
I agree with you 100%, as well as, in addition to more and more great players making New York or the New York area their home.
True. You're
Right?
exactly right.
So there are better players around that are playing pool with other players that are drawing them to the pool room. Like right now, I'm looking at Tony giving a lesson right now. And if Tony wasn't here living in this area, Tony wouldn't be allowed, he wouldn't be giving that lesson right now. So
Right.
since there are more players in this area, and when I look at pool players, I think pool players are great people. I look at, of course there are bad apples, or of course there are some people who rub other people maybe wrong and all that. But when I look at pool players, I look at pool players as very courteous players, courteous competitors. If they make a mistake, if they foul, they will say it very often. And, you look at a lot of these other games, like baseball and basketball. And
They
a
all
lot
have
of
their
these
bad apples, too.
Right, and like in basketball, for example, you're gonna like fall down if you're charging the hoop and it's close. Like you have to like fall down to try to get the foul. Well, like in pool, you're not really trying to pretend that you hit the ball when you didn't hit the ball. You just be honest about it. Bad hit. But in some of these other sports, it seems like a lot of these athletes will fight for the call to get their team to win the game. And I think that when it comes to pool, these pool players know that they're going to see these players, all these different events, all these different places, and they don't want to really ruin a relationship with another person. So I think the dynamics of this game are very interesting. And even though you do have a lot of competitors all vying to win, I believe that pool players are just, are really great people across the board.
They're definitely a lot better than the general population gives them credit for. They got a bad rap that it's not as deserving as people think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I really don't think that looking at the game of pool and seeing it one way, two-dimensional, is fair.
Hmm. And Dennis did come up dry on that break, and you could tell he was frustrated. I mean, because he hit the holy crap out of
he
those
crushed
balls,
them. Yep.
and nothing dropped. And I did notice that those two balls that tend to go the three rails and then come into the corner pocket, both of them missed by about a full diamond. So it's definitely not breaking the way it was on the other tables. I know that even Mike Davis was making that ball into the side pocket, and then one of the three rail balls would come into the corner. And that's not doing that on this table.
See, that was an impressive shot by Mike Davis. Hit it with top left, making the cue ball travel forward. And the left English, once the cue ball pushed off the floor and hit the rail, was just enough spin to be able to come 2 rails back out for the 3 ball. So that was an impressive shot for some of the amateurs out there just trying to figure out the game and see how they were, Mike was able to go from one ball to the other.
Agreed. Good lesson.
That was the thought process there. And here you go. Mike's going to pop this out one rail, come back towards the center of the table. And for some of the amateurs out there just getting familiar with the game of pool, a good rule of thumb, in my opinion, is to play positional, play towards the center of the table or play in like certain areas. And the center of the table is a very good starting point or a good goal because you have pretty much the most options how to go from one ball to the next, giving yourself an angle and all that. So here we go anyway, getting back, forget about all that. Mike Davis is looking pretty... Is looking like he's going to be able to finish this game off. But right now, we got a little tricky situation here where Mike has an angle going away from the 7. So there are a few ways to approach this. Would you hit this with top left and come off that end rail, or what would you do? Would you kind of just stop it there? What would you do here, Jen?
I'm just going to roll it up.
Roll it up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just going to roll it up.
Okay. Well, rolling it up
Whatever,
would have
just
been one
keep
of...
the,
Okay.
keep the cue ball in that area.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do anything fancy. I mean, the 7 balls hanging...
Right.
Well, I mean, it's straight in, and
Right.
the 8 balls hanging, the 9 balls natural from the 8.
Okay.
I just didn't think there was a need to do anything tricky. And Mike Davis is so big. I mean, he can touch nearly all the pockets from any position on the table.
Right.
So, I don't know. Me personally, I find the taller you are, I think pool's easier. I think it's an unfair advantage.
is
I think
easier
they should
because
stop
you can
doing
reach
handicaps
further.
on skill, and they should do it based on height, because it is unfair that you are so tall you can reach everything. I mean, I don't think Mike Davis even knows there's a bridge under the table.
I've never seen him use a bridge.
Why would he? He's like 8 feet tall.
Oh man.
So yeah, I can remember I was started to do a little jinx on him. I was trying to do a jinx from my chair when I watched him play Tony probably a year ago, because he kept coming up dry on the break and he would push out to a jump shot in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
Well, Tony's not the tallest guy in the world, so if he
Yeah.
was going to jump, he was going to need the bridge, whereas Mike, I mean, no problems jumping from the middle of the table. So whatever. You're hearing it now. I say do handicaps based on height.
Based on height. Well, right now, Mike and his height are
Mike
in the
is
lead. 8 games to 6.
He's 8. He's got 8, and he's 8 feet tall.
Mike and his height. 8 games to 6 over Dennis Hatchetman Hatch.
Who's also tall. Notice
Who's
they're
also-
both in the finals. I'm just saying. Not a coincidence.
That's funny, Gal. Well, I hope everyone's having fun is watching the stream. I really do. I hope everyone. I hope a lot of people are enjoying themselves. Some people,
there'll
it's
be
okay.
some bad apples.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Some people are hating, or some people don't really like what we have to say, because you can't please everyone in life. But as long as some people are having fun, or most people,
I'll take 87%.
right? As long as most people are having fun and enjoying themselves and enjoying us and enjoying this great pool, then that's a wonderful thing.
That's right. You are listening. Some people are asking who in the world is talking. I am sitting next to Jerry Tarantola of the NYC Grind, and my name is Gail Glazebrook, amateur pool player extraordinaire.
That's right. National 8-ball women's champion.
Okay, that too.
Yeah.
But more amateur pool player.
Yeah. Well, that was a big break by Mike Davis. The cue ball got away from him a little bit, and it looks like he's not going to be able to turn up with a shot here. But I don't know. Dennis gets out of the table quick. Oh, the 10 ball went in. I didn't notice it was a 10.
Which just made hitting that one ball all the more tricky.
That's absolutely right. So it looks like Mike Davis is going to push out here. And for those of you who aren't really familiar with the game of 10 ball or 9 ball, basically the same rule applies, where any player who breaks the balls, who makes a ball, has an option to either, of course, shoot the ball and try to make attempt to make the ball, or you can shoot what's called a push, where you shoot the cue ball to a certain point or area on the table, like he did just now, and his opponent, which here is Dennis Hatch, has an opportunity to either shoot the shot or give it back to Mike. So Mike, of course, didn't leave Dennis an easy shot to work with. He left Dennis either an extreme cut on the one, which I doubt he's going to shoot,
think so.
right, or a safety. So
I go for the safety here.
Mike, yeah. So Mike figured, instead of trying to wildly kick at the one, let's push to a shot where I believe that Dennis would give back to me, and at least I have a safe out of it. So let's see what happens here.
I think they might be. Are they doing some sort of a break? Okay, we've got a break.
I believe it's a break. And on that note, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to see if Tony Robles or someone else appropriate would be willing to take over for some commentary for a moment, because I have a little bit of work to do. So I just want to take a moment to, again, thank Tony, you, Gail, Finnegan from the Predator 9-Ball Tour, John Lehman from the Tri-State Tour, Todd Fleetman, who's been a big part and big help, as well as Bill Focaccia of the Tri-State Tour, and Jose Burgos from the Mez Tour, all for leading the way in this industry and showing people that by collaborating and putting your heads together and looking to grow the entire pie versus trying to get just a small share of what's available, great things can happen. And this event is a proof of that by bringing players together, more and more players around a great cause and a great event, and make some waves. So I believe that this is a synergistic event, doing great things, and I believe that all the players, everyone that's involved with it, everyone should feel proud. And lastly, I don't mean to really go on about this, I want to thank Steinway Billiards, who has hosted this event, all of the sponsors who have been a part of it, and all of these great pros who've come down and spent some time here in New York. I'm sure they love New York because New York is, in my opinion, the greatest place in the world. Definitely the most energy and excitement and buzz, from my opinion. That's what keeps me here. I need it. I thrive off of it. And lastly, I want to thank every single one of you fans, you players who are tuning in right now, whether you're on an iPhone or a tablet, PC or Mac. Thank you very much. Please share. Please spread the word of all three tours. Please share not only the stream, but whatever that interests you relating to pool or your interests on Facebook. And even though mass media currently are not promoting the game, or there isn't enough exposure or as much exposure as what's potential in the game, we're not voiceless. We're not powerless. Right now, we have the most powerful invention in the world, in history, the internet, that has opened up a whole new world of possibilities, and we have powers and responsibilities that we didn't have in the past. So it's up to us now to, instead of complain or to focus on the negative, to I guess use that platform, use social media, use the internet to, instead of knock players, instead of to bark, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with barking, but instead of spreading negativity, or instead of sharing things that don't really matter, to take the time and click share or to click like with some of these,
Comment.
yeah, and comment, right, with some of these productions, or some of the, even if it's a pool related photo, or if you see a friend or a family member that did well in their local tour or a league, like it, share it. This means a lot to these players, and
it's some of them, it's their livelihood.
That's
It's how
right.
they put bread on the table.
absolutely. And the reality is, if you're a pool player, this is part of your identity, and it's either like you would or just be nameless people um, who are, we were not able to share our successes with people. But now with the internet and social media, we have the capability to spread valuable messages, great ideas, and let's just keep it up. Let's stay focused, stay in alignment with this synergistic mindset. Let's work together. Let's team up. Let's communicate. Let's comment. Let's share. And let's please keep it positive. Be cool. No one's perfect out there. And, if you're out there watching some of these streams and the player's not playing that great, let's not like rip them.
Because you've done it.
Because we're all human.
All you
and
guys,
we all have bad
everybody knows
sets.
you've done it too. So just give them the same courtesy of acknowledgement that it happens to everybody, pro to amateur. It's not easy.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate everything. Thank you all, and
Thanks,
thank you for
JT.
listening to
Well
me
said.
go on here a little bit. I had to. That was from the heart, and I believe that it's just needed now.
I know.
If no one says it, I don't know.
I hear you. I'm
Right.
with you.
We got to just stay positive here. So let's keep the positivity going here. 8 to 6. There's a break here on the TV table. Gail, it was a pleasure. Have a good
Absolutely.
night, guys. Ciao.
See you later, JT. Thank you. On that note, while what JT was talking about the positivity and keeping people feeling confident and happy about their game, even if they're down, one of the things that I really appreciate about Ginky was that Ginky was somebody that wanted to inspire you, and he wanted to make you feel better about your game. And if you were struggling with something, he would actually take the time to step away from his own table and show you a few things, show you what you were doing wrong on a shot. I can remember being at Master Billiards, and I was struggling with a one-rail kick, and he showed me a way to navigate the one-rail kick better. And he didn't have to do that. I mean, I didn't ask him. He just saw me struggling with it, and he came over and offered up his time completely on his own because he wanted to make my life easier in this game. And spreading around that same kind of support, the pros could do that a lot more often, and I think they should, reaching out to the amateurs and the fans and letting them know that they're appreciated. So I appreciate very much what Jerry had to say because in the spirit of Ginky, who this tournament is in honor of, he would have been a serious advocate of everything that JT's just said. And while I have this opportunity, I'm also going to send a shout out to some of our chat room viewers who have been eagerly awaiting their roll call. I know that there is Wilfredo Albe in the chat room watching. I appreciate your support, Wilfredo, who played in this tournament, as well as Ronnie Park, and I know there's Heather Kurtz in the audience. Maybe Steve Kurtz is in the audience too. I think Frank is in the audience. A couple more friends I'm sure will pop up. I know Snooki Diana Rojas was in the audience. When I say audience,
Big D, South Bronx 718, and Incredible Hulk, like chalk. I like that.
Tony's a huge comic book fan, so yeah. He enjoys any comic book character that gets mentioned.
So what's going on? I've been missing in action for a bit. I am back, and I see that the score is 8-6. Are they in the middle of a break here?
Yes, they are in a break. Dennis opted to take a break after Mike pushed out. I think Mike pushed out to this. The chat room will correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, Jared. Jared's in the chat.
Who's Poolaholic?
Wilfredo Albe.
Fredo. It's a tough name to get. Poolaholic.
Yes, it's been an interesting match to watch. Mike Davis has been more steady than Dennis Hatch in this match.
Mr. Ginny is in the house too.
Oh, Dash is in the house. And I do see Dennis, who just snuck by me. So I think he's getting back to the table. So I think this match will get started again real soon. You are watching the 3rd annual George Ginky Sanssouci Memorial Tournament here at Steinway Billiards. This was a collaboration of the Predator Pro-Am Tour, the Tri-State Tour, and the Mez Tour. This is Mike Davis versus Dennis Hatch. And we would like to give a special thank you to Steinway Billiards for hosting this event. Fantastic room in the Astoria, Queens, New York area. If you're in this area, we highly recommend coming down. There's great seating, amazing food, full bar, great staff. You couldn't ask for anything more out of a pool room. New York City is becoming the premier place, I feel. Now, I'm a little biased, but the premier place to play some awesome pool. And a number of the top players have been, there have been rumbles of them moving here.
Yeah.
So, be a good place.
Also a shout out to Sean Jackson from Pennsylvania, who came all the way down here to play in the Ginky Memorial. His first time out here. Perfect gentleman. We enjoyed having you here, Sean, so thank you for coming down here. And we had quite a number of people coming from out of state. Virginia, as far as California, Oscar Dominguez, people from Massachusetts.
Yep. A lot of players came into Virginia,
Maryland,
like you said.
they
Yeah.
came from all over the place, upstate New York, so we're happy to have everyone here.
Yeah, and some of the Rhode Island players that came out, I think they were trying to get a taste of what to look forward to in 2 weeks when the Predator Tour goes to Snookers in Rhode Island.
That's right. So that was a failed attempt at a safe there, and he has left Mike with a shot, and I'm not sure if Mike has the right angle. It looks like he might be able to go in between the 7 and the 10. If he does and ends up coming off the second rail, he'll be in good shape here. Yep, he went in between him.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, at least my assessment of this match so far. Mike Davis and Dennis have both struggled. This was not a perfect match by any stretch of the imagination. But Mike has been playing a little bit more consistently. He's got the table negotiated, the rails and the speed of the table a little bit better than Dennis. And he's also had some friendlier bumps, and the combination of those three things has really helped keep Mike in the lead. Dennis has been knocking on the door, but then a couple of hiccups keep him from catching up to Mike.
Right. And Mike is tough as nails. I mean, you can't make too many mistakes with Mike. He'll make you pay.
Mm-hmm.
He just hit that shot so great. I mean, again, the first shot, the one, he went right in between the 7 and the 10, and now the two, he went in between the 4 and the 8.
Mm-hmm. Shooting really, really well.
Well, that's what you have to do when you play on a table that the rails are very bouncy. You have to go that extra rail in order to get position, but more importantly, you have to play position to go that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
See, now here he slides the ball down and plays the 5 in the same pocket. While making sure that he doesn't overhit it. Then he wants to send the cue ball here near the side pocket so he can have a natural angle to come off two rails. That way he has an opportunity once it comes off the second rail to go right towards the 7. And I see Robin Dotson is in the chat. Is that the real Robin Dotson?
I do not know.
And I know someone also mentioned Gypsy and John Adesanya. We miss him as well. They were. John was only 25 years old when he passed away. Such a young kid.
Ginky was 39.
And also Johnny B was mentioned. But anyway, Robin Dodson, I believe, is in the chat room, and not too many people got to see Robin when she was in her prime, and I did. And what an amazing player she was. And the higher the stakes, the better she played.
I got a little funny on this 8-ball. Is that why he's
No,
taking
he's
some time?
fine. He's fine. He's going to draw right past the side pocket, hit the rail, come off a bit. Yep,
Nice shot.
he's good.
Nice shot. Mike's going to extend his lead, 9-6, in this race to 15. This is the finals of the Open Pro event for the George Ginky Sensusi Memorial Tournament here at Steinway Billiards. Third annual, George.
He's chipping away little at a time.
Yep.
That's what he's doing.
It is 1:30 in the morning here in New York City, and there are still plenty of people in the room watching this match, playing on neighboring tables, eating food, drinking. Steinway Billiards.
Well, did you notice when we were in Vegas this year, I don't believe Robin Dodson was there. I don't think she was there. I mean, she's usually there every year with the frog jump
Yeah.
cue and has a booth, and she has that interesting game that she came up with. So
And I believe her son, Russ, is also in the chat. I think I saw him just a little bit earlier, so hello to him as well. You know what Jerry and I were doing? We were swapping our Ginky stories.
oh wow.
I got another quick one. There was very shortly before Ginky passed away. It's maybe a little bit more inappropriate, but there was a spankathon at the Amsterdam Billiard Club.
Oh, I remember that.
There's a little bar table at Amsterdam, and again, it was not a dry night, and we decided to start a spankathon, and each person took their turns getting whacked like a frat brother. and Ginky was front and center promoting the event and partaking and inflicting
And trying to
receiving.
get everyone to join in.
Yes.
But they couldn't get Thorsten and I to join in because Thorsten and I were practicing.
You were playing a street pool match, and this was not a quiet night, mind you. I mean, we were really loud. There was a lot of alcohol being consumed, and people were getting spanked, boys and girls. So this was not to be a quiet event. And Tony somehow ran a 197 amongst it all.
189.
A 189. Anyways, that's another one of my Ginky stories. While I have a moment, I'll say hi to Dr. Hakram?
Dr. Hakeem.
Hakeem. Okay. Hi, Dr. Hakeem.
But anyways, I mentioned earlier Robin Dotson. It was a pleasure watching you play. Wow, I have the utmost respect for your game. Always have. You are amazing and an inspiration. And an inspiration. And it didn't matter whether you were man or woman. She got the cash.
Did he call that? No, 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 no. He didn't call that. He did. And let's see if we can get a better angle on this ball. I'll tell you, there has not been a lot of smooth sailing in any of these racks.
No, and it's like I said earlier. I mean, it's whoever wants it the most at this point because I mean, we've all been here since 9:30 a.m. We've been playing almost nonstop since 9:30 a.m. and it's just very, very, very tough. And these were slow races to 9, and now wow. I have to give credit where credit is due. These guys are amazing for hanging in there and just still grinding it out. They still want it.
Oh, wow. Look at that shot. Ooh.
Yeah, unfortunately, he needed a little more spin.
Well, once again, there's work to be done. Oh, let's see what Dennis is looking like.
He's just waiting his turn at the table. He wants it just as bad.
And something to note there for me personally, notice how Dennis is sitting. He's got his legs, they're not crossed, his arms are open. Something Jerry Tarantolo once told me about letting all your emotions, not keeping everything inside and having your legs crossed and your arms crossed and your fingers crossed and your toes crossed. It tends to bottle up the negative emotions. It may sound a little foo-foo, but that's what JT once told me.
It's true. I mean, sometimes when you cross your arms, you start building a little tension. Especially if you're wearing a slim fit shirt like I am. You start feeling the tension even more. It just starts squeezing your muscles,
Let the oxygen get to all your body parts.
Not that I'm slim. I'm far from that. But I'm working
You're
on
working on it. Working on it. And so Dennis is elected to play safe.
My good friend here. My good friend showed me his wife. Go on. Take it easy.
Oh, jump shot time.
Yes. Good. Right now.
Sí. 9:17. 202 27:50. Dennis is pretty good at jumping, and he's great at kicking. He's great at banking. You rarely see him miss a jump shot.
I mean, that he made it, but again, he's nothing's easy. I think he just wants to get to the table, I think, once and just be able to let the stroke out and get going.
Let's see what happens here. I mean, if he decides to just shoot a stop shot, that he has two options. He can hit it with low left and come around, to the left side of the table for position the 6 in the corner, or he can, that's what he's going to do.
He drew that ball while he was jacked up over the 6 ball.
Yeah.
Wow.
But those are like hangers for him, though.
What?
See, now here, this is kind of a funny angle. He might be better off drawing the ball, only because if he tries to put foul and goes to rail, he might be able to hit it there, you see? Because if he tries to go 2 rails the other way, or 3 rails actually is what I meant to say, he would risk going in the side pocket.
Mm-hmm.
See, now here it looks like he has just the right angle so that if he pockets the 6 with just natural follow, the 7 is going to go towards the right-hand corner pocket. So this might be a natural position.
So
but obviously he doesn't
bumpy?
have it because he's elevating the cue stick.
Yeah.
Oh, he just wants to get around there. Okay.
Okay.
See, it's hard to tell the angles from here. It looked like he had an angle where he was automatically going to run to the 7. So
Do a little camera angle changing and see if maybe we can do some better commentating for you guys, better predicting.
But you know, I love Hill matches. Those are my favorite matches to watch.
Well, Hill's a long way from now because this is a
That's
race
okay.
of
I don't
15.
mind it if it ends up going Hill. So now it's 9-7. He was only down by 2 games.
Okay, so I told my Ginky story. Do you have a fun Ginky? I told about the birthday when Ginky was trying to shark me with his sexy moves on the table. Remember when we were in the pit at Amsterdam? And he would lay up across the table when I was shooting, try to distract me.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, we do remember that. Yeah.
And then I said the Spankathon, and Jerry told us about a time Ginky won a tournament at Rax. Do you have any?
No one in New York played Ginky more than I did. Trust me, I know. He beat up on me enough. You know, I mean, one point in time, he beat me like 15 times in a row, and I couldn't take it anymore, and I wasn't practicing then. I just decided to practice 8 hours a day for 3 consecutive months, and I got into dead stroke, and I finally beat him like 7, 8 times in a row. And then I got satisfied as always, and then I stopped playing. And then, but there was a point in time. It didn't matter if you practiced or not. Ginky was going to beat you anyway. That's just how good he was.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I first started playing with Ginky, he was still learning the game, and he was like a B plus A player. Frankie Hernandez would give him the 5, and one time beat him up so badly he looked at him, and Frankie told Ginky, "You got the 5 for life." That's exactly how I told him.
Frankie said that to Ginky?
Then 2 years later, they're gambling, right? And Ginky's beating him even. And he beats him one time, and he says, "Frankie, do I still have the 5 for life?" Like he said 2 years ago. Frankie looks at him dead in the eye and says, "Take it easy, kid. Take it easy."
I can't imagine anybody giving for Ginky the 5.
Yeah. I don't know if Snooki is still in the chat room, but I know she has
I bet.
some pretty good
But
Ginky stories.
they might not be PG.
Yeah. John Mack says, "Kid, you get the 5 for life."
That's John MacArthur. Probably also has some pretty good Ginky and gypsy stories. Frankie, Tony, Ginky, and Ginky. Wasn't there a Sammy Guzman?
Sammy Guzman. Yeah, wow, what a talent he was. He died at the age of 25. I remember one time when Ginky was Ginky, when he was in that stroke. This was the year after he won the BCA. My sponsor and I, wow, we watched him play Ralph Souquet, and he beat Ralph Souquet 11-0 and played. He shot a perfect.
He beat Ralph Souquet at 11-0.
Yeah, and this one when Ralph was Ralph, and Ralph just was like dumbfounded. He couldn't understand it, but Ginky beat him 11-0. And it got to the point where it was the only time I ever saw Ralph like almost like nervous. Like he missed a very easy 3-ball, and I said, "Wow!" For him to miss that, Ginky must have really gone.
It's hard to rattle Ralph.
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
And we actually may have a decent opportunity. I mean, if Mike can get good from the 3 to the 4, we may be able to see a run out of a number of balls in a row without any hiccups, any accidental safeties, any scratches. And there's a good opportunity to do that since he just hit that 2-ball so well. I've got John Fergie in the chat room asking, Tony, did Ginky win any major titles?
Yeah, Ginky actually won 3 major titles in a little over a year. He won the BCA Open 9-ball championships.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went and won the National Straight Pool Championship, which was held in Amsterdam.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he made an amazing two-rail kick shot. I'll never forget it. The house came down when he made that shot in Amsterdam.
In his home room,
In
too.
his homeroom, and then he also won the Camel Pro Billiard Series 10-ball event in Jersey, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It was amazing. It was a pleasure. And then at one point in time, all the Joss and All About Pool Tour events, we were playing in all of them. He won 27 out of 29 events.
No.
Never forget that as long as I live.
Holy goodness.
And he also won Derby City 9-ball. That's right. And he came second, I believe, in the. He came second in the Reno, Nevada, the Sands Regency event.
Mike Davis successfully negotiated that 2, 3, 4, and now it seems to be smooth sailing for him in the rest of this rack.
Hmm.
I don't see any problems at all.
Yeah, he won the Allen Hopkins event. Robin Dotson just said, and let me see. He did win a Country Club USA. Boy, do I miss that room. That's one of the most beautiful rooms I've ever had the pleasure of playing in. And supposedly I heard it closed down a year ago or so. I'm not 100% sure, but what a great room that was. Dave Kuna was the owner. I believe Dave passed away a couple of years ago, but what a great room that was.
I'm surprised that Mike got on the ball like that. I mean, it wasn't necessary to get so much green on this 8-ball, and not only that, he put himself kind of on top of the 9-ball.
Yeah, but he's in good shape here. He rarely misses these shots.
You said it. Okay, he's okay.
No, he's a tall guy. He has like the reach advantage. So, going over a ball is like a hanger for him. Same for
I was telling
for Johnny
Jerry,
Archer and
I
for Dennis
don't
Hatch.
think they should do handicaps on skill anymore. I think they should do it on height.
Yeah, that's true.
The higher you are, the taller you are, the higher your spot.
Yeah.
The more games you got to win.
Yeah.
And Mike Davis is going to extend this lead even further. This 10-ball, making it 10-7. And somebody in the chat made a comment. Dennis would be leading this match if he could make a ball on the break. I do agree with you. Dennis has been extremely unsuccessful on the break. Not only is he not making a ball on the break, but they're also not spreading well whenever he does. So
It's
even if
just
he
that it's hard
works,
to freeze them. That's the problem. It's just hard to freeze the balls.
I see.
Mike can reach most of the shots on the next table, says Ellie Slim. You're right. And Ellie Slim was right about a comment he made earlier that Ginky was always a gentleman when you played with him.
Oh.
Always a class act. Never gave anyone a problem.
Ooh, nearly scratched on that break.
But he didn't make anything, right?
And he didn't make anything. And
I'm telling you, this table was
Dennis,
tough action.
Dennis flew out of that chair. Flew. Desperate.
I like that story that Robin Dotson wrote about Ginky when he couldn't jump. Do you still sell the jump cues, the frog and the tadpole, Robin? Well, you know what surprises me about this match? Zion's V, my good buddy, played in this tournament. He finished 5th. Congratulations to him. What a great event he had. He had success on this table. He was breaking from the corner. And I even told Mike before the match, I said, you know why? I've seen a couple of people make balls on the break from the corner, but I haven't watched the entire match. I just got here a little while ago. I don't know if he's broken from the corner, but From what I see so far, they're
No.
both breaking from the center, and it
No,
just
Mike's
doesn't
been
make
breaking
any
from the
sense.
center. Yeah. Well, I was telling the people in the chat earlier that when Mike Davis was breaking against you, when you played him earlier in the tournament, I mean,
Sickening.
he was making 3 balls on the break.
He
I
kept
mean,
making the second ball every single time, with
Yeah.
the exception of one time. He probably broke and ran on me like 5 times in the entire match.
it's hard to beat,
Very hard to
and
beat.
especially when you weren't making a ball on the break. Dennis must run this rack out.
Yeah, if he is to stand a chance to win, definitely.
Someone made a comment that Zion was cut breaking, and that's why he was successful. Interesting.
Did not know that. Well, Dennis seems like he's loose again.
Yeah. But, I mean, Mike has maintained this 2-rack lead based on Dennis's dry break. So I'm curious. You know, I was watching some of this live stream earlier when I was working at home by myself while you were here having fun. And I was listening to some of the live stream, and I don't know if it was Stevie Moore. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Point being, somebody was on the was commentating, and they said that the players that were successful making a ball in the break weren't trying to smash the balls. They were hitting them above medium speed, just above medium speed. And it was letting the balls actually, that ball go into the side pocket or the 3-railer go around. 4-railer, sorry. See? Dry. Dry.
Don't understand. Did he break from the corner there?
He know. They keep doing the center. You know how I get on you all the time about when you don't change your methods?
Yep.
He's doing the same thing. And the only thing is that, I mean, the balls are, I think, wide open. I can't see behind Mike, but. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Mike's going to have much of a problem getting out. I mean, he's a pretty good combination shot shooter, so he's not going to have trouble here. You know, 2 to the 3, 4, 9, come back up for the 5, 6, 2 rails for the 7, 7, 2 rails for the 8, then 1 rail, 2 rails for the 10. It should be fine.
Yeah.
It's a hanger. I never missed a ball from there.
Well, then neither of us.
But I miss a ton out there.
Mike was really close to the camera mic there, so we got to hear a little bit of him.
Yeah, he just called the 9 ball.
It's a call shot, call safety. 10-ball tournament that they're playing in.
And it's actually a format that I learned from Grady Matthews at a tournament once in Pennsylvania many years ago, and wow, I just love the rules. So I said, you know what, when I start my own tour, I'm going to use the same rules. And players that come here, they love it. They love the rules. They love the fact that if a guy misses 5 consecutive times and leaves him buried behind the ball, they pay for their mistake by making them shoot again.
Yep. I actually think Mike Davis is not the biggest fan of these rules, but he's a big advocate of two-way shot planning. So people that that enjoy the element of going for a shot, but also playing a safety in case you miss the ball, tend to not like these rules. But me personally, and I love the intelligence that comes into a two-way shot, I still prefer to watch the pros play this kind of game because it really makes the pro pick the higher percentage shot. What do I really think I can do? Not what do I think I can do, but I'm still going to be able to duck in case I don't. You have to really commit to something, and I prefer to watch the upper echelon players do that.
I agree. Well, here, I mean, if he's dead straight, he just has to draw back either halfway or to where he's at now. If he has an angle, he has to be careful not to overdraw and end up behind a 10. It looks like he's dead straight here, though.
Oh, that was a good shot.
And here he goes 2 rails, like I said 20 minutes ago. Is it getting perfect on the 7 and then shoot the 7, go 1, 2 rails on the 8, and then use 1 or 2 rails depending how, which angle he ends up on the 8 to get to the 9. Robin Dodson style for the cash.
Nicely executed. A
I guess
little
he
bit of an angle.
prefers the straighter angle here.
Yeah, you're more of a rail kind of guy, aren't
Ooh,
you?
this is a tricky angle here. You can see it.
Yeah.
there.
Oh, that's a good camera angle.
That's one of those shots where if you hit it, I mean, you have to cheat the pocket here. No, you have to hit it as full as you can to try to draw it back as straight as you can. Because if he cheats the pocket too much, he could potentially end up drawing it straight into the corner pocket.
Of course, he can reach it.
Yeah, he has to hit this pretty good. You see, that's the problem. If you cheat the pocket too much, wow. I think he just got away with murder on that one.
Murder. Call the police. Is that the real Corey Duel? Real Corey Duel, please stand up.
What's going on, Corey? How you doing, buddy? You left Steinway. We thought you were going to come here and stay here and play in the Ginky Memorial.
You'd have been Robin.
Oh, someone says that is not Corey Duel.
It's an imposter. Well, we still think Corey Duel should have stayed. He'd have been Robin.
That's... Sí, Moreno. Ok. Gracias. Ok. Yo voy a estar allá el próximo día. Gracias. All right, let's see if these guys are finally going to go.
He's going to still break from the same spot because you boys are bull-headed.
Well, see, when Mike broke against me, every time he broke the balls, one of the second balls went in the side pocket 90% of the time. It's not happening on this table because the balls aren't freezing the same. They're trying their very best to freeze the balls. They just won't freeze. Let's see what one of the 8 ball, I can't tell if that's a 9 ball. It looks like the 9 ball. 8 or the 9. Nope. See? But he's missing it just by a hair. So if he doesn't make the 4-railer on the 3, which he did,
wow,
he ends up in trouble. But see?
You know, we should have been watching Strickland. Because Strickland's like, dry, last minute. Oh.
Yeah.
And Mike Davis, with the lead, has a very, very open rack here. 2 balls on the same side as the 1 ball. Always helps when you got a lot of green.
I agree. You know, the thing about it is that sometimes people don't respect an unorthodox style enough because Mike Davis has an unorthodox style. He doesn't have a textbook style. You know, just no movement where you're supposed to have no movement of the elbow and so forth. but he moves the elbow up with along with the shoulder.
Yeah,
He has an unorthodox style.
the hinge is the shoulder.
I've never underestimated him, especially for that reason, because this man can play pool.
Oh yeah.
You know, and sometimes I really believe that players out there are saying, well, I have a better stroke than this guy. There's nobody can beat me. That is a major mistake. I'm not saying that's what Dennis is doing. What I am saying is that that's the attitude that a lot of players that play against him have. And then they end up scratching their heads and trying to figure out, how in the world did I lose to this?
Yep, I agree with you.
But Mike is a world-class player.
Absolutely. And a grinder.
That's right.
Frequenter of the local tours out here. Always putting the time in, playing in a lot of the Mez tour stops, the Predator tour stops when he's close in the area. And I think he plays some of the Joss too, right? Joss tour stops. And so he's no stranger to the late nights that these tournaments can run.
He plays on Turning Stone most of the time. He's played most of the Turning Stone events.
And again, like I said earlier, while Mike has been pretty consistent and steady, he's also been getting very nice bumps, nice risky position that's worked in his favor. The 8-ball earlier in the rack, he really was flirting with danger. He'd hit that little softer, a little harder. He'd have been looking at too steep a cut to make that 8-ball. That little bump, that little nudge by the 9-ball.
Yeah.
Like you said to me when I had a good run in Vegas, I was playing well, and things just seemed to be working in my favor too. Combination of the two. I think most people will tell you when they win tournaments, they played well, but they also had good rolls.
And I would like you folks to stick around in the chat room as well as the stream once the match has been completed, because traditionally we usually have the winner make a speech. Last year,
Yes.
Earl made a pretty funny speech, but he seemed pretty sincere about it.
He did, and it was related to Ginky.
It was related to Ginky. He says, "Buddy, I love you. I miss you. I wish you were here, and I'm happy. I'm honored to play in your event." But he told us a story about when they told him the name of the person he's playing in the final in Country Club USA.
This was before Ginky really anybody knew about him.
He said, "You're playing Ginky." He said, "Ginky? What's a Ginky?" He says, "Oh, it's
No. He said, "What's a Ginky?"
Yeah. And what he did is he immediately called his friend, and his wife says, "I'm playing the Ginky. I'm robbing. But I'm stealing." He said, "No, that's what he said. I'm stealing."
I'm stealing.
And then he said, "Oh, wow, look at this.
And
Wow.
still,
Wow." But anyway, long story short, Ginky beat him 13-6 in the final, and he said he robbed me. I thought I was stealing, but he robbed me.
Yep, and that was Ginky. Ginky wasn't afraid of anybody, just like you. And that's the first time that, that's one of the few times I saw Mike let the cue ball get away from him, and he shot that 9-ball a little fast. While we have time in between these racks, why don't we give a shout out to our sponsors? We have Predator Cues. It's the title sponsor of the Predator Pro-Am Tour. The National Amateur Pool League, Tony Robles' Amateur Pool League. You can find information about that at playnapl.com, poisonbilliards.com, poolonthenet.com, Delta 13 Racks, Pocket Coach, Billiard Press, pool.biz, qtable.com, and Master Chalk. And of course our media sponsors, Inside Pool and NYC Grind, who are providing you this live stream for free, thanks to Alvin's hard work, and J.R. Calvert and Sally, and as well as Jerry Tarantola, Allison Fisher. And we'd also like to thank media sponsors Pool Mac, Billiards Digest, and azbilliards.com. And you can hear the crowd in the background a little bit. They are happy that Mr. Hatch has finally potted a ball on the break.
And has a nice shot on the 2. and Mr. West Point 1987. I don't believe that we're saying that Mike is not a great player. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I just finished talking about what a world class
Fantastic.
player he is.
He
So,
he's been playing really steady, but he's also been getting like a little nudge here and there that really just helps.
but that's kind of the roles that you need in order to win a tournament.
Yep.
I understand that he's a world class 14.1 player, but sometimes you can have all the straight pool knowledge in the world. I know straight pool is my best game. But
Right.
sometimes you need to get a friendly bump. You know, if you're very far away from the ball, you need to get a friendly bump every now and then. But that's not taking any credit from Mike. It's just, it doesn't take away from his stellar play.
Yeah, he's been
It's
playing
just
really steady and, running out the table when he had the opportunity. That's the first track that I really saw him miss an open shot since the beginning of the match.
And I know Corey was asking if I lost to Strickland. Yes, I did. I only missed one ball against him. The tied 5-5. We were neck to neck, running out on our breaks, and then I missed that one key 8 ball when I got out of line a bit, and he ran the set out on me. Vintage Earl. That's what that was.
You are watching the third annual George Ginky Sansusi Memorial Tournament. My name is Gail Glazebrook, and I am in the booth with Tony the Silent Assassin Robles.
Yeah, Gail's last name is Glazebrook.
For now.
And she loves rap music.
What?
Yeah, one day I'm home and I'm just watching TV and she comes out of nowhere and she says, "You thought I was a donut. You tried to glaze me." And I said, "Where'd that come from?"
Crazy. All right. Dennis again looking to close the gap here. And that 6-ball went flying around the table. I mean, he's got a shot on the 6-ball, but he's trying to figure out what he's going to do with that 7. Would you do the 7-10 combo here, or are you coming around and shooting the 7 in the upper?
No, I think he's going to go one rail and play the 7 in the
Can
corner.
he-
I think he definitely has enough room there. He just wished he didn't overdraw the ball the way he did. So
You sure? I don't know.
no, it goes.
It
definitely
goes?
goes. He would not have left the cue ball there if it didn't go.
Okay, you're right.
No, I'm always right.
There you go. Man, Mike Davis came through that. I know that Mike Davis is the one that sent you to the one-loss side, correct?
Yeah, he played a fantastic match against me. Yeah, I'm not surprised though. I mean, Mike also beat me in the Steinway Classic last week. I have the utmost respect for Mike's game. What I was trying to say earlier is that a lot of people underestimate him because of his unorthodox style.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's what it is. I never underestimate him. I respect the man's game. He's been in the Moscone Cup. There's a reason why he's been in the Moscone Cup.
Right.
You don't. It's not a fluke. You don't get into the Moscone Cup by accident. You have to
Nope.
know what you're doing. In order to get the Moscone Cup. So.
Oh my God, Dennis has got to be sick.
Oh wow, he scratched.
He's got to be sick.
And it's 11-10 too.
This is a race to 15 winner take all match that we have here. Oh, sorry. I forgot that has a different meaning in pool. Not winner take all.
I said I didn't know they did that. It's
Sorry, I'm
2,300 for
tired.
first and 1,500 for second. I said
Sorry.
they did winner take all. All that hard work
Man,
for nothing. Someone's
just-
gonna go home broke.
I just made it dramatic in here. No, it's I meant that it's one race. So whoever wins the one race to 15. This is even though Dennis is on the winner side. Whoever wins the race to 15 wins the whole shebang. Not winner take all. Sorry. Can you hear the raspiness in my voice?
Yeah.
This is Tired Gale coming into play.
Someone asked me if I played in the Moscone Cup. I played in the Moscone Cup in 2003 and 2004. That's back when I played every day, though. I won the BCA Open 9 Ball Championships in 2004. I finished second 2 years before that in 2002. I finished second in the Players Championship, lost to Danny Harriman in the finals. I was playing real good back then. And we won both years when I played in the Moscone Cup, once in Holland and once in Vegas.
Gotcha.
I'll never forget that experience. It was awesome.
Interesting position on the three ball.
He probably had the 410 combo in mind all along. Poppin' Fresh won. Who's Poppin' Fresh won? Do you know?
No, I do not know.
Yeah, I think he's going to play the combo. He should be in good shape here.
I like the fact that he's taking his time on this shot.
Bada bing. I would absolutely love to go back to the Moscone Cup. That would be
Good shot.
an amazing experience. With Chado, they actually considered me last year as a captain, but instead, CJ Wiley got the nod, and I thought he did a great job. I mean, they came pretty close to winning.
Somebody in the chat room has asked you, Tony, what is your favorite moment in your pool career?
There are a couple of them. One was when I ran 107 and out in the U.S. Open straight pool against Johnny Overlino, because my dad was there and it was in front of over 300 people. So my dad was very proud. My dad was actually, shedding a couple tears.
Aww.
And the other was when I ran 148 against Johnny Archer when I was -2, and I missed a semi-tough 13 ball, needing only 4 to tie the U.S. Open record of 152 and out. And then in that same U.S. Open, I ran 126 against Mika. Straight pool's always been my best game. I just need to play more before the World Championship, prepare myself, because I really believe I can win that tournament.
Sorry.
Snooki, are you talking about my dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad is pretty funny. He's awesome. He's a funny man. But thank you. But probably the absolute best moment I ever had in pool was when I met the girl sitting next to me.
Aww, you're so
Yeah.
cheesy.
Yeah, you're eating it up.
Any problem areas in this rack?
Ellie Slim is asking me what's my high run. My high run in straight pool is 268 balls, but that's because I quit playing straight pool for about a good 10 years. I'm pretty sure I would have done 300 easily. A lot of people don't know that straight pool. A lot of people have no clue that straight pool is actually my best game, and 8 ball is my second best game. And I once, it's funny. This is another Ginky story. I played an exhibition match at a place called Corner Billiards, which is now known as Amsterdam Billiards, but it was Corner Billiards back then. A race to 200, and Ginky and I lagged. I won the lag. No, he won the lag. I broke the balls. Ginky saw a combination in the rack. He went for it and missed it, and I ran 200 and out. It was the only time in my career that I ever ran 200 and out. Then on another occasion, when I first met Zion Zvi, what an amazing player he is. My Lord,
Yeah.
natural talent all the way. Zion kept asking me every day. This is when I was teaching 7 days a week, and I just didn't have time to play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only house pro at Amsterdam, so I was averaging 7 to 8 lessons a day.
Right.
And he asked me every Monday through Friday for about 30 days straight. Tony, we're gonna play. "Oh, sorry, buddy. I have less. Sorry, buddy. I have less. Sorry." Finally, I had like a ton of cancellations one day, and I went up to him and said, "You're not gonna believe." He says, "You got time to play." And I said, "Yeah, I do. You're not gonna believe it." And I said, "Okay, let's play." So we flip. I win the flip. I have him break. I run 150 and out. Then he says, "Let's play another one." I said, "Okay." We flip. I win the flip again. I have him break. He left me a shot again, and I ran 150 and
Oh
out.
my
It was the only
gosh.
time in my career that I ran 150 back to back. And when I ran the 150, he said, "Tony, how long have you been playing the game?" And this was a while back, like 7, 8 years ago. I said, "I 28 years." 28 years? How old are you? He couldn't believe it. And I said, "I'm 40." He said, "No way, you're 40 years old." I said, "Yeah, but that was a cool that was a cool experience there." And that was about the time. Well, a little after that, I became pretty close friends with Corey Lytle, who was a pitcher for the New York Yankees at that point. And Corey used to play pool 8 hours a day when he was in college. He
Ah.
could play. He knew how to break and stop the cube on the center of the table. He had his own jump cue. He could jump and make balls and draw a table. It was amazing. So I played with Corey, every day. We hung out till 4 or 5 in the morning, and then he invited me to Yankee Stadium, watch a ball game when he was pitching. It was awesome. But unfortunately, he died in that plane accident where he
Yeah.
was plane and ran into that apartment building in New York City a
Yep.
couple of years ago. And he asked me to get on the plane with him a month before, and I said, "Corey, I expect the fact that you're a pilot, but I don't trust small planes."
Yeah. Well, Mike Davis has extended his lead again, 13 to 10. And I think a lot of people in the room were expecting a closer match. There's only 3 racks difference, but honestly, Mike's gotten in his zone.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I think most of the people in the room, not me, because I know Mike's game very well, and I
Mm-hmm.
have the utmost respect for Mike's game. But I believe most people in the room thought that Mike wasn't even going to beat Tom.
It's close.
Yeah, and he beat him 9-8. I know
And
Tom missed that 10 ball, but still, Mike played a great match. See, when someone says I missed a ball, that's almost like saying, "Hey, I'm discrediting everything that you did to get to that point." You
mm-hmm.
see, so you still have to respect the fact that Mike got to that point, or any
Right.
player. It doesn't matter who it is,
Right.
But I'm not surprised that Mike's in the final. I'm not surprised that he's winning this match.
No.
It could be either or. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that these are two world-class players.
Yes.
And at any point in time, anyone can beat anyone. And any given time, any given player can win any given time.
Well, and remember, I think in that match with Mike Davis versus Tom D'Afonso, which was the semifinals match, Mike was down. He was behind. I want to say by pretty good margin. Maybe some of the people in the live stream can remind me of what the score was. But I know Tom was at like 7, and I think Mike had maybe like 3 or 4. And then Mike just started trucking back. And they did make it to Hill. So, Mike Davis got some mileage on this table before this match got started. And Dennis came off of a pretty long break after winning his hot seat match. He had a while for the one-loss side to catch up. So that slow start for Dennis Hatch.
And I believe that
Hurt.
Mike smells the blood right now. You can see it in his eyes. I mean, he's focused. He looks relaxed, but focused.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference because if you become lackadaisical and you relax too much, you miss balls in front of the pocket. But you know what? As soon as I said that, he got out of line. Unbelievable. I think he's fine. No, I think he might be straighter than what I thought. Yeah, no, he's good here. Yeah, he's good. I just know that he didn't want to end up frozen because then he'll end up on the wrong side of the floor. It doesn't matter. See, he was afraid of ending up on the wrong side of the floor, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
But, Mike has a big stroke. Don't be surprised if he hits it and draws two, possibly three rails to come back for the five in the same pocket.
Right.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Did
Or he can also hit it with stun follow and some inside English to go three rails underneath the eight and play the five in the corner pocket. But then he needs a good angle on the five to get in the six.
hmm.
Let's see what he decides to do.
Yeah, I'm really curious how he
Unless he
gets on.
banks the five. You can also bank the five cross side.
No, it looks like he's doing something.
Oh, he's going to go across. I didn't even think he had the angle to do that.
Yeah,
That's
that
a good
was
shot.
a good shot. And with the six ball near the corner pocket, he has a lot more room for the cue ball to move around and still have position on the six ball next.
Yeah, I think he would want to get a little closer to that one.
He's still okay. Shouldn't be any trouble for him here. The man, made a comment. They got to dig deep, see the finish line. I think you're exactly right. It is 2:15 in the morning here in New York City, and it has been a very, very, very long day. Mike and Dennis both were here at least by 11 a.m. They might have been 10 a.m. I'm not really sure, but it's been a long day of pool. And you're right, they got to dig deep. They want to win it. They got to say, I can be tired later.
Yeah,
Make
that's
the
right.
balls.
And Ellie Slim asked me if I ever played against Abe Rosen, who was a legendary a player out of New York years ago. He used to teach out of Amsterdam. I never had the pleasure of playing against him, but I did take a couple of lessons from him. Very knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
Used to give lessons at Amsterdam all the time.
Now he's
Man,
got to
I
punch
don't know.
this
That
over.
looks almost like a funny angle there. Yeah. You see? He's,
You don't think he can
could
punch
tell. He
punch
might
that
not have
over,
a
come
choice
three
but
rails?
to run into the eight ball here. See that?
Oh, yeah.
And then if he
From
hits
that
it
angle,
real
it
good,
looks
he
like
might
it.
even pocket the eight. You know, he's going to have to hit this with either soft draw. I mean, listen, if he hits this with follow and hits the left side of the eight's going to come off the rail and stop near the hole, and the cue ball's going to hit the bottom rail and come out. That's probably his best option there, assuming that he has the angle to hit that side of the eight. But it looks like he's hitting with draw.
See, I was thinking low left. But
But this is definitely a straight pull shot here. Who's Tony Robles? I love you. Anyway, I'll say hi.
do I have to hurt somebody? This is funny. Wish I could see this live.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a better look at this angle. It looks like,
I think you're right. I think running into the eight ball.
yeah, if he, yeah, he's going to go with the draw.
Yep.
Oh, he could go past it. You know what?
Yeah,
If I had to take a guess, I think that he was trying to hit the eight
I think so too.
because that's why he came a little short here. I don't think he was expecting to miss the eight.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Is he looking at the four railer here?
See, I can't stand this shot. Me personally, you and your little straight poolers, world of backwards cut break shots, but I'm going to the top left pocket. I like to be able to see the pocket that I'm shooting into.
CJ Wiley, my friend CJ Wiley is in the chat room. How you doing, buddy? It's been a while. Great job with the Mosconi Cup. I know that you guys got close to winning it this year, but I'm very proud of the job you did, and they did very well in picking you as the captain.
What a great shot that was. Kudos, Mike Davis. I don't care that you got a thinner cut on the 9 ball. You can make this ball,
Yeah,
and
no,
that was
that was a great shot. That was not an easy shot, especially at this stage in the match.
agreed. I think Mike Davis can smell his bed.
I know. Wow, that was a nice shot
It
there.
was excellent.
Yeah, I have to hit that ball pretty good. And wow, that was at this time, considering how early it's been here, this to get on the hill too.
Excelente.
He's on the hill. He needs one more. And Dennis needs 5. I wish I had that button that I press so you can hear the applause. The sound effects.
And again, since Mike Davis is on the hill here, why don't I thank some of our sponsors? Inside Pool Magazine and NYC Grind has brought you this live stream for free. Thank you to them and Alvin in particular and Upstate Al for all their hard in-person work making this thing happen for you guys. The other media sponsors are Pool Mac, Billiards Digest, and azbilliards.com. I would also like to personally thank Predator Cues. I'm a Predator girl myself, as is Tony Robles sitting next to me, and they are the title sponsor of the Predator Pro-Am Tour. We'd also like to thank the National Amateur Pool League. You can see our website at playnapl.com. Poison Billiards, poolonthenet.com. Delta 13, they got a brand new rack called the Delta Select out right now. You can check it out at delta-13.com. Pocket Coach, billiardpress.com, pool.biz, qtable.com, and Master Chalk. You're watching the 3rd annual George Ginky Sansusi Memorial Tournament here at Steinway Billiards in Astoria, Queens, New York City. And this is a collaboration of the 3 local tours here, the Predator Pro-Am Tour, Tri-State Tour, and Mez Tour. This is the finals with Mike Davis and Dennis Hatch, and you've got Mike Davis in the lead 14-10 in a race to 15.
Very well said. I couldn't have done better myself. It was okay, Alvin. Don't give her too much credit. If you do, I won't be able to fit in the booth anymore. Yeah, but it keeps going up.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's.
Now
It's fine.
Okay. See, CJ Wiley's opening up a new pool room in Fort Worth, Texas. Good luck with that. Always great to see a new room open.
I like seeing them opening, and I hate seeing them close.
Yeah. Pool table wedding cake. No, we're not. We're gonna have a pool table gift box.
Shh. Okay, you didn't hear that? That was a figment of your imagination. My stellar fiance, who's really bad at keeping a secret.
Yeah, that's right. CJ did win one of the biggest tournaments on ESPN. If I'm not mistaken, CJ, correct me if I'm not mistaken, but when you got the check for that, what was it? I don't know if it was 50,000, 80,000, 85,000. I think it was a lot of money. And then I remember, I don't know if it was you or your ex-girlfriend or former wife. I don't remember. Took it to the cleaners. You realized that you left the check.
Oh, crap. Mike was not successful on that break, and Dennis Hatch is taking advantage. Let me ask you something. When you're playing in these tournaments, honey, and you're on the hill and you come up dry or you scratch on the break, is there always is the first thought, oh my God, I hope I get to the table again. I hope that's not the last thing that happens.
You always hope that you get to the table. The problem is, when you get to the table, it's very, very tough to gain confidence in your game if you know that you feel helpless with the break, if you feel like you cannot make a ball on the break.
No, but I mean when you personally are on the hill and you're doing that final break and you just want a ball to get in a pocket and for you to have a shot on the first ball, and then you see either you break dry or you scratch on the break, is your first thought, dear God, let me get back to this table again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyone that says otherwise is lying.
Lying. Lying.
You see, CJ White, look, 88,000. I left it in my pants and it got taken to the censored. Was money laundering. That's great stuff, buddy. It really is. But you see, I knew it was a lot of money. It was $88,000 check.
I think I would be paying more attention to where that little guy was.
Well, Dennis came up dry, and it looks like Mike has a nice, decent run out here. I think that he's going to be out for me. He just has to make sure he takes his time.
Mike Davis, yeah.
Hmm.
I think he's got a really good opportunity. We might have be crowning our champion very soon. And at this point in the match, I mean, it's probably true of amateurs and pros alike. But you got the adrenaline. You can feel it, you can taste it, you can smell it. It's right there, almost about to be over. And I've seen so many times a player will overstroke a ball in that with all that adrenaline pumping through all his veins. We saw the most vivid example recently that I remember was Ralph Eckert when he was playing Dennis Hatch in the Steinway Classic. Dennis Hatch hill breaks dry. Ralph Eckert runs all of the balls, gets funny on the 9 ball, has to cut the 9 ball into the side pocket, come down table, back up table, and corner hooks himself.
Yep.
I mean, and that's just
Then he massed eight, hit the 10. Dennis shot the 10 and scratched on the side.
wildest inning I ever saw.
I had a friend of mine today that hadn't seen Earl since the 80s, or 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and he said, "Wow, I remember the time that you played Mike Siegel. I want to thank you for, being the champion that you are and all that you've done for pool and this and that." And Earl said, "I lost that match. Why do you have to remind me about that match? I lost that match."
I bet you, Earl knows
And
every
the guy didn't know
single
what to
loss.
say. He said, "Wow, I'm over here trying to compliment the guy. He's getting mad at me."
Well,
I've seen
do you
the guy
expect
since like the 1980s.
you expect anything less from Earl? Mike Davis got very, 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 very funny on that 4 ball. In fact, he ran into it, and he's lucky he wasn't on top of it.
No, but he's good here. He'll be fine.
10 balls, big ball.
Yeah. Well, that's why he hit it the speed that he hit it. He hit it with what I call just in case speed. Just in case you run into the ball, you don't, end up
I
with
don't
the
know
chance
about
going
that.
behind the balls. Yeah. You don't believe in just in case speed? I sure do.
If he'd come around that rail,
Actually, I don't think he'll see it. I'm not sure. He might see enough to hit it and play it safe, but it's hard to tell from here if he can see enough to make it. Let's change the angle again. Yeah, see, from here it looks like he can see it. Or at least the edge of it, but then from this angle,
you got to pan. Look at Dennis's face. Go to the one that you can see Dennis. Look at this face. This one. He is.
he looks tired.
No, he's got that angry. You better not miss. Because if you miss, I'm gonna make you pay.
That's why Mike Davis is such an amazing player. I mean, he doesn't care how tired he is. He wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Dennis doesn't, but it's everyone's body's different. He hit that great.
He hit that fabulous.
Nice. Well, I'm going to go on ahead and see if I can get the microphone so that I can get Mike Davis to say a couple of words about his win. And but I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And Gail, you take care of the rest here. And thanks to everyone in the chat room for all your comments. It's very much appreciated. And thanks for being a part of the 2013 third annual George Ginky Sanssouci Memorial.
Thanks, honey. Yeah, I am tired. And outside of an earthquake, I think Mike Davis has this one in the bag. Great match by these two players. I enjoyed commentating it. I appreciate you taking the time to log in, check us out. Mike Davis is going to be our third annual George Ginky Sansusi Memorial Tournament Open Pro winner with the potting of this last 10 ball. Congratulations. Mike Davis wins. Congratulations to Mike Davis, and thank you to all the Open Pros that have played in this event and worked so hard making this event so successful. All of our players, all of our spectators, all of our fans, Alvin, Inside Pool, NYC Grind, I thank you very, very much, and I'm going to turn it over to Alvin. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, amazing lady.
Memorial champions.
Good job.
Dennis Sachs for runner-up. Mike, is a tradition. We always have the winners say a speech about their experience. See what your views are on this.
We're going to be back here again in September, but I'm hoping it's an hour.
All right, let's get him on the screen here.
When I was young. Okay. Yeah. When I was a young guy and I first started going to big tournaments, he pretty much won every one of them. I know the Derby. He was down to Virginia, and he just like robbed everybody down there. It was an amazing thing to watch. Like nobody ever broke the balls as good as him, and it was a great period. So, good guy.
Once again, thank you everyone for stopping by and being part of this huge event, and we'll see you again next year.
Thank you. See you sooner rather than later. I appreciate it. I could hear like the rasp in my voice.
Yeah, just to make sure that it'll be around the evening time for sure. Just leave it twice. Just leave it. I want to make sure I got through all that.
I won't be able to go with you.
No? You have to work the late, right?
No, I'm not.
Good. I have to go there. I have to go to there.
If it's a late dinner, we can go.
I'll think about it. I'll call you. I'll send you a text or something.
Maybe outside.
Okay, so hopefully everyone, I don't know, was that the greatest match in the history of pool or what? Was it all that you'd hoped it to be? Was Inside Pool and NYC's Grind everything that you wanted? Hope so. Hope so. So that's it now. 2:36 a.m. We're wrapping up the show. 3 straight weeks of free streaming here. Big shout out, J.R. Calvert. Thanks a lot for everything, buddy. Inside Pool, Jerry Tarantola, Allison Fisher, and the rest of the crew. I guess we'll see you at the Maryland Straight Pool Championships, my friend. Keep kicking it, live action. Don't forget our sponsors. Mega sponsor CNG Gas. NYC Grind. Focused Apparel. And North County Restorations. New York's #1 billiard mechanic. You can find them on Facebook. Thanks a lot, everybody. Albie loves you. Signing out.